What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, it is a different style of video than what I usually do. I'm not even sure what I'm going to call this video or this style of video. I'm leaning more towards this kind of being like a podcast style of video, where at least the topic of today's video is going to be doing this bracket on, I believe it's bracketfights.com, of the best 7th generation games. I think this is going to be a really great way for you guys to see what games I have played before I started the channel, and then also what games I haven't played. So if there's, these are some of the best games of all time, at least from the last generation, or I guess the 7th generation before that. You can see and recommend games that I say I haven't played, and you can be like, oh, you gotta go play that. And there's a lot of these games that I haven't played that I definitely do want to get to. There's a lot of games here. There's 128, so it'll be 64 games on each side. I haven't even looked at the other side of the bracket. I've barely looked at the matchups. I have no idea. So I think this is going to be a really fun video. Very laid back. You really don't even have to watch the video to go along with it. I think this would be best experienced as a podcast just listening. But you'll be able to see the bracket and all of the beautiful ads on the side of the screen and the top and the bottom as well. So this is going to be a really fun video. I have no idea how long it's going to be. I'm not going to edit really at all. I have a drink next to me because I'm doing a lot of talking. But I think this is going to be a really fun video to dive into and talk about. You can kind of see those might be the games I move on for those two matchups. But I was just kind of messing with it to see what it was like to mess with this whole bracket. So I'm very excited to see what the matchups are going to be, what games are going to be in here. 7th generation for me is definitely the generation that I have messed with the most. I think I started gaming right at the start of the 7th generation, maybe a little bit into that, a couple of years into that. So PS3 and 360, a little bit of Wii, not a lot of Wii. We'll kind of talk about that later. But PS3 was my console during the 7th generation, and then obviously with 8th generation, I was Xbox One. I went back and played a lot of 360 games. So PS3 and 360, there's going to be a lot of the games that I've played, but there's going to be a lot on here. I'd probably say I would at least like to hope that more than half of these games I've played, but who knows? Like I said, I haven't looked at the whole bracket. I have no idea what's going to be on this list. Alright, before we dive in and start talking about these games, how I'm going to do it is if it's two games that I have played, obviously I'll pick which one is my favorite out of the two. If it's one game I've played, one game I haven't played, I'll move on the game that I have played. If it's two games that I have not played, what I'm going to do is move on the game that I think I would enjoy playing the most. Now, obviously, I can go play those two games, and the game I move on is actually the game I like the least out of the two. But that's just how I'm going to do it. I think this video is going to be a great way for you guys to see what games I have played before I started this channel, and then what games I haven't played, so maybe those games can get recommended and can get played on the channel. So with all of that talking intro out of the way, let's dive into it. Okay, I'm going to use matchup mode so I can get a better picture. Well, it's showing Zelda and Portal 2 because I've already done the first one. Black Ops 1 versus Skate 3. I have played both these games. These are both great childhood games. I mean, Black Ops 1 campaign might be the best in the franchise to me. I mean, a great campaign with great characters, memorable missions, a great plot. Like, I think it's probably the best campaign in the franchise, in my opinion. Multiplayer is just so good, so many great weapons and maps. It's so, even going back to it, it's still, I think, held up in 2026. If you were to go back and play Black Ops 1 multiplayer, if you can find a couple lobbies, this multiplayer has still held up so well. All the great guns, the progression feels great. I mean, this is one that I really didn't play Black Ops 1 a lot in its prime, but I did play a lot of the multiplayer, even when it was still pretty popular years after release. And then the zombies, not my favorite zombies in the franchise, but still so many good maps. Kino, Ascension, Moon, I've played a lot of zombies. Moon is definitely one that I do like. I think it's solid. Shangri-La I think is good. Call of the Dead never really played a whole lot, but probably Kino and Ascension are the two big ones for me in that zombies mode. So Black Ops 1 is a great game. Skate 3, I mean, to me, not really playing a lot of skating games. You know, you have, I feel like the big two are Skate and Tony Hawk. Just recently got into Tony Hawk. I still really haven't played a whole lot of it, but Skate 3, it's so good. I mean, this is a really tough matchup off the rip. Skate 3 has just great gameplay. All of the great skate parks you can go to, so iconic and memorable. The Hall of Meat, all the different events you can go to. There's so much content. And this game, again, just like Black Ops 1, still holds up in 2026. All the user-created content as well. But I would go Black Ops 1. Out of these two, it's a tough matchup, but Black Ops 1, for me, just the whole package, I really enjoyed it. It's definitely one of the best CODs out there. Now with matchup mode, I don't even know what that says. I'm not enough of a Zelda pro to even see what that is, so that might give me some heat in the comments. I don't know what that Zelda is. I do apologize. Zelda, I would say straight up, and with any Nintendo game, this is a big one that I've maybe got some ideas towards tackling on the channel. I have a complete blind spot. Not a Nintendo kid at all. The most Nintendo I played was Wii Sports. Never played any Zelda games. I've played Mario games, but I never finished any Mario game. Metroid, Donkey Kong, all of the big Nintendo games I have not finished. So if that is something that you want to see on the channel, like I said, I might already have an idea as to the first game to tackle out of the Nintendo backlog. But let me know down in the comments. I can't even see what that subtitle is. I don't know. I'm not a Zelda pro, so let me know down in the comments what Zelda game that is. If it's a good one, I'm sure it is. But it's going against Portal 2. Portal 2 for me, I know a lot of people really love Portal 2. It is a great game. I'm not really a puzzle guy. I do enjoy puzzles, but I'm not the biggest fan. But even as a guy who's not the biggest fan of puzzles, Portal 2, I've finished it. It is a great game. It is really enjoyable. The creativity that they come up with these puzzles, and it's really not a long game at all, so it's a game that if you get good at, you can speed run really, really fast. But even if you're going through it for the first time, it's a very short first time playthrough, so that's also very nice. You can get through it very quickly. It's got a great story, great side characters, and even, like I said, as a guy who's not a big puzzle guy, I can appreciate how good these puzzles are, how creative they are. They really make you rack your brain. And the Portal, I guess, system, the Portal gun, being super iconic, I mean, that does have some weight. I have not played Portal 1. Not sure if that's going to be on this list or not when we get down to it. I have not played Portal 1, so if that's something you want to see, let me know. But Portal 2 would be the winner for me here, just because I have not played the other Zelda game. This is an interesting one. Max Payne 3 versus Disney Epic Mickey. I have not played these games at all. I didn't even know Disney Epic Mickey was like that, enough to be on a top 128 list, so maybe I'm underrating it. But out of the two, which one do I think I'm going to enjoy the most? It's definitely Max Payne 3. I don't really have any interest in playing Disney Epic Mickey. If that's a game that you guys want to see, I will give it a shot somehow, some way. Max Payne's always a franchise that I've wanted to get into. You have Max Payne 1 and 2, I think were both made by Remedy, or maybe it was Rockstar, I'm not entirely sure. I know Rockstar was involved with those original games in some way, shape, or form. But Max Payne 3 I know was Rockstar developed, and I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's not one that I gotta get to that as soon as possible, but at some point I would like to check out the Max Payne games. I'm sure they're a lot of fun. I have not really got into the franchise, but I would like to at some point. StarCraft 2 versus Gears 3. Now with StarCraft, a game I've not played, I think StarCraft, I'm going to look it up just so I don't look stupid when I kind of say what type of game it is, because I think I know, but I want to make sure that I know for sure. It is a RTS game, real-time strategy. There are very few genres that I don't really enjoy or just not my thing, and that's your real-time strategies, or that's really the big one is real-time strategy. I've never gotten into it. It's not really my thing. So I know StarCraft 2, I'm sure, is great. Even if there was a really high demand for it, I would still maybe give it a shot somehow. But it's definitely not high up on the list. It's just not my kind of game. It's really the only genre that I can think of off the top of my head. Not my thing. But Gears of War 3, that is my thing. I love Gears of War. Gears 3 is probably my favorite out of the franchise. It's the complete package, I think, when it comes to the campaign, the finale of that trilogy with all those great characters, and so many great moments in that story. If you played it, you know, a multiplayer that I really didn't get into because when I played Gears, I even want to kind of look and see if I can find out when I finished Gears for the first time. It was through backwards compatibility on Xbox One. I want to say I went through the trilogy maybe 2018, 2019. I'm going to see if I can pull up when I popped the achievement. It was 2019. So that's crazy. It's been 6 years, almost 7 years since I've finished Gears 3. So in 2019, games still probably had a pretty solid player base for multiplayer, but I never really got into it. But I've kind of gotten into the Gears multiplayer through other games like Gears 5. And then the Horde mode is still a lot of fun to mess with. Not something I mess with a whole lot, but I did enjoy what I played of it. And I know people love Gears 3. So out of the two, just because I've only played Gears 3, that's going to be the move. But, I mean, Gears 3 is so good. The entire trilogy, I'm sure we'll see on this list somehow in some way. But, just a spoiler, Gears 3 is probably my favorite. BioShock 2 and Limbo. You'll see BioShock on this list at some point, I'm sure, and I'll try not to talk about BioShock until we get there, but BioShock 2 is still a great game. I'll just say not as good as BioShock 1, but it's still great. Limbo is a game I have not played. So with BioShock 2, I mean, the hype, I guess the expectation that this game probably had when it came out to live up to the first game was probably just crazy, and it was realistically never going to hit that. I mean, it definitely could have, but I mean, with BioShock 1 being as good as it is, BioShock 2 had a lot to live up to, and I still think it's a great game. It's been a minute since I finished it. Another game that I finished while on the Xbox One. I'm trying to see if I can pull up when this game was completed for me. It looks like it was 2020. So I finished it in 2020. So obviously not a game that's super fresh in my mind. But I do remember really still liking it. You had a lot more of an emphasis on the Big Daddies playing as those, and the Big Daddies and Little Sisters being a lot more involved in that game. And I'm having a hard time remembering what happens in that game. You'll kind of see that with a lot of these games, especially if they're games I've finished years ago and haven't gone back and a replay of. But I do remember liking BioShock 2, not as much as the first game, but it still was a really great game. Limbo, not a game I've gotten around to. I have it installed, I think, on my Xbox. I know it's like a 2-hour game, 3-hour game, so it's one that I could finish in a playthrough, like a session, I guess. Not gotten around to it. I've played Inside, which I don't think would be on this list because that's, I think, 2016. But Limbo's where Playdead, I think, is the developers, got their start, and I've heard so many good things about it. I definitely want to check this game out at some point. If you want to see that, let me know down in the comments. But for this matchup, it's going to be BioShock 2. Rock Band 3 and Dragon Age Origins. For me, when it comes to Rock Band, I have a hard time remembering which games I have and haven't played. I'm pretty sure I've played 3, and they kind of all blend together. It's been years, I mean more than 10 years, more than likely, since I've played. I think I played Rock Band 2 pretty recently. I think it was Rock Band 2, but definitely not Rock Band 3. I know I played it. It was years ago, so I don't remember anything about it. But, I mean, it's Rock Band. I mean, Rock Band, the original trilogy, I know Rock Band 4, not as loved as the other games, but the original trilogy were games that were just so good, had great set lists and a selection of songs, and then just being able to jam out with your friends with the peripherals, the microphone, the guitar, the drums. It's so much fun, and Rock Band is a classic. I don't know if they would be able to bring this back in any way in the modern age in 2026 or in the future. It'd be cool to see them try, but it probably won't, capture that same feeling of Rock Band. Dragon Age Origins, I have not played Dragon Age Origins. This is one that I've definitely wanted to check out. I've heard so many good things about it. This is BioWare before Mass Effect. They had a lot of games. They have a really great history of RPGs. They did KOTOR, which that won't be on this list, but another game I have not gotten to. But I have played Mass Effect. You'll see those games on this list. I played all 3 of those. I love those games. Dragon Age, I know the first one at least, is a fantastic RPG, and it has a lot of the same writing, the great characters and relationships and story and choices being made. I know it's a big RPG. Have not gotten to Dragon Age Origins. Definitely want to at some point. So for this one, it would be Rock Band 3. More than likely, if I play Dragon Age Origins, it'll be Dragon Age Origins. But for the way I said at the beginning I want to do this, I've played Rock Band 3, it will move on. Now, will it go very far? Probably not, but based on what I'm looking at down the list, matchup-wise, it might. But it won't win. So, Rock Band 3, moving on. Here's another one. Here's another blind spot. Metal Gear Solid. Have not played Metal Gear Solid. Any of them. Not that I don't have an interest. I know that people love these games, but I just haven't gotten around to them. This is Metal Gear Solid 4, so this is, I think, the only one that's on the PlayStation 3. I think it's stuck on the PlayStation 3 from what I've heard, so I could be wrong about that. But I know people love Metal Gear Solid. This is another, I think, probably one of the biggest franchise blind spots I have. I have not gotten around to Metal Gear Solid 4 or any of them at all. So that could be one that if you guys have a high enough demand for it, want to see me play it, that can happen for sure. South Park: The Stick of Truth, another one I have not played. I feel like this is an underrated one. I hear a lot of good things about it. I'm not even a really big fan of South Park. Not that I don't like it, I just don't really watch it. But I've heard really good things about this game. I think it's a Ubisoft game, which is kind of crazy to think about that combo. But I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's a Ubisoft, or I feel like Obsidian. I don't know why I want to put Obsidian with South Park: Stick of Truth. I could be wrong about that. But I've heard a lot of good things about. Not one that's high up on my list to get to. So out of these two, probably going to say Metal Gear Solid 4. But I know I'd probably like both if I played them. But I'd probably say Metal Gear Solid 4. Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time, or Fear. 2 more games that I have not played before. Ratchet and Clank, if you've paid attention to the channel, the only one that I have played but not finished is the 2016 reboot that came out on PS4. The only experience I have with the franchise, I never got around to finishing that game. So all of Ratchet and Clank pretty much is a blind spot. The entire franchise. I know there's so many games, especially on the PS3. Wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe 1 or 2 more Ratchet and Clanks on here. But I have not checked out Ratchet and Clank. So, haven't played that. Fear, haven't played either. I don't really know a lot about Fear. This is a big blind spot, at least with, Ratchet and Clank being the big franchise that it is. I know about the franchise. I really don't know anything about Fear at all. Like, I'm going to look up really quick on the spot what Fear even is. I'm assuming it's some sort of maybe survival horror game. I could be wrong about that. It's a series of games, and it is a first-person shooter psychological horror game. Sounds really cool. I've never played them. I don't even know how many games there are in the series. So that's another big blind spot, is Fear. Out of the 2 games, probably going to say Ratchet and Clank, just because I do have some experience with this franchise. I at least know about it, but, maybe Fear might sneak up on it if I ever play it. Who knows? Ooh, this is a big one. This is a good one right here. Left 4 Dead 2 Midnight Club Los Angeles. Left 4 Dead 2 is one of the best co-op games of all time. This is another big part of my childhood, even before I had an Xbox. I played this on an old PC single player. I played through these levels so much on repeat, and even now, finally building a PC at the end of 2024, Left 4 Dead just being that game that you can always go back to and have so much fun with. Even if you're single player, you can go through, it's still a blast. But even with friends, and especially on PC, all the mods and the workshop stuff that you can get to replace guns and have, you know, new gun sounds and animations, and then custom campaign levels, do all these things with the UI and sound cues. There's so much you can do with Left 4 Dead 2 that even if you've played it and played through it vanilla all the way through, you have all the Left 4 Dead 1 levels and even the DLC levels they've added after that, you have an entire game's worth of content after the fact with all the workshop and mods and player created stuff. I mean, Left 4 Dead 2, it's still popular in 2026. I mean, it really does hold up in every way. Gameplay is fantastic. The way that, I mean, even just going to it after not playing it for so long and seeing the little details that Left 4 Dead 2 does so well, like how the zombies, when they're attacking you in numbers, circle around you to really make you feel overwhelmed, or all the little sound cues that you hear for each of the special infected enemies that let you know who is nearby and where they are, and all the levels and how great they're designed. I mean, this game is timeless. You could play this now, 10 years ago, 10 years from now, and it's still going to be just as good. Left 4 Dead 2 is a fantastic game. Midnight Club Los Angeles, have not finished it. I have played it, but I've not finished it. It's one that I've thought about going through for the channel, and one that I definitely do still want to get to. From what I've played, it is such a good game. I mean, the driving, I think, might be one of the best feeling racing games I've played ever. The feel of this game is fantastic. Rockstar, again, you go down their whole, I don't even know what you call it, all their history of games. Midnight Club is a very underrated series that they have, and Los Angeles is the only one that I've played out of the franchise, but one that I have really enjoyed what I've played. I still have a long way to go. It's a long racing game. There's a lot to it. But out of the two, just because I haven't played Midnight Club all the way through, but just because Left 4 Dead 2 is so good, it's Left 4 Dead. I'm very afraid at how long this video is going to be, because we've only gotten through 9 matchups. We got to move things along. Sonic Generations, Mass Effect 3. Have not played Sonic Generations at all. Not a Sonic guy, not because I don't like it, just because I haven't really gotten into it. The only Sonic experience I have is with the Sonic racing games. So if Sonic is something you want to see in the future on the channel, that's another big blind spot. Mass Effect 3, love Mass Effect. I really enjoy the trilogy, and Mass Effect 3, I know the ending is talked about as one of the worst parts of the game, and I can see that, but everything else around it, everything else before it, is a fantastic video game. It wraps up the trilogy so well with all the great characters you know and love from the 2 games before it. It has great gameplay, memorable story moments, and a game that I played through, I don't even remember when, it was maybe 2018, I want to say, just off the top of my head, and then replayed it again with the Legendary Edition that came out in 2021. Mass Effect 3 is really good. Not sure. Mass Effect 2 is my favorite out of the trilogy, so that's just a bit of a spoiler. We'll see that on the list somewhere as well. I'd probably put it second above Mass Effect 1, but that's a close one. But for this matchup, Mass Effect 3 moves on. Super Mario Bros. Wii and Saints Row 2. Like I said earlier, Nintendo, big blind spot, so I have not played Super Mario Bros. Wii at all. I'm sure I'd like it. I know it's a lot of fun. The 2D platformer definitely is something that Mario does probably the best, or one of the best, out of the entire industry. And I've heard this one, I'm pretty sure I've heard this one's actually really, really good, but I have not gotten around to it. Saints Row 2, if you pay attention to the channel, is a game that I've started a couple of different times, just haven't gotten through, but it is probably the best that Saints Row has to offer. It's a great alternative. I know a lot of people maybe don't like that it gets compared to GTA all the time, but it does, I think, stand on its own in a lot of ways. It is just a lot of fun. I mean, the story doesn't take itself too seriously. There's a lot of great, funny moments, great soundtrack, great gameplay. You can really lose yourself in this world and have a lot of fun with it. Have not finished it though. So out of these two, which one would I probably enjoy more? I'm going to say Saints Row 2. Might be a hot take, but I have played Saints Row 2. I haven't finished it, but I have played it, so that kind of helps a little bit. So Saints Row 2, we'll move on here. Alright, Infamous 2, Borderlands. Infamous is a PlayStation franchise I have not played. I haven't played any of the Infamous games. Sucker Punch, the only thing I've played for them is the Ghost games. This is before that. So Infamous, big blind spot there as well. I've heard a lot of good things about it. And I would definitely really enjoy, I think, checking these games out and seeing if they hold up. I'm not even sure how old they are. I want to say late 2000s, early 2010s. But Infamous 2, heard a lot of good things about, haven't gotten around to it. Borderlands, I've played, haven't finished. The original one, I've finished Borderlands 2. And I'm sure that'll be on here somewhere. Really love that game. Borderlands 1 is a game I played after 2. And it's still a lot of fun, but definitely doesn't hold up compared to 2. 2 just improves on it in a lot of ways. But Borderlands 1 is still a lot of fun. There's definitely some parts of the game that you can see its age in, or that could just be because 2 is such a great sequel and improved on it in so many ways, but you can still have a lot of fun with Borderlands. So out of the two, we're going to go Borderlands 1. We're going to go Borderlands 1. Call of Duty World at War, Dead or Alive 4. Have not played Dead or Alive before. Not the biggest fighting game guy. I do enjoy it from time to time, very casually. Like, I'll go through the occasional Mortal Kombat story, or I think I've played through Injustice 2's story mode. I'll play a little bit of multiplayer, do some, fights on my own time. I'm not the biggest fighting game guy, so Dead or Alive, not really something I see myself playing at all. Just not really my thing. I know the franchise, I've heard, is very, very popular in the fighting game community, but just not my thing. Also, I just want to say, I just peeked over at an ad on the side of the screen and saw Sands of Time remake coming 2026. That's very unfortunate. That's a very unfortunate ad. If you're not in the loop, that game got canceled by Ubisoft. So, very unfortunate ad on the side of the screen. Getting back to it, Dead or Alive, not my thing. No hate at all towards the franchise, just not really my thing. But World at War is a Call of Duty game that I didn't play in its prime. And even going back to it, I really didn't even play its multiplayer in its prime like I did with Black Ops 1. Didn't play Black Ops 1 in its prime, but there was a lot more... I have a lot more experience with that game's multiplayer than I did with World at Wars. I have played through the campaign. It's a great campaign. Not one of my favorites in the franchise, but it still is a really good campaign. I don't know if I'd say it's top 5, but it's still definitely worth playing. And then this is where zombies originated. Definitely shows its age in some ways, but you can still hop on a match of Der Riese, and even a match of Shinonuma and Verrückt, and even Nacht, and have a lot of fun with just the base formula that Zombies offers. So with this one, since I've only played World at War, that moves on. This is a really interesting matchup. I have played both these games. Dead Space is probably my favorite survival horror game of all time. Above Resident Evil 4, and that's kind of the comparison that this game draws. This game took a lot of inspiration from Resident Evil 4, excuse me, and kind of built on that formula, put it into space. And if you haven't played it, it takes a lot more of a precision-based approach with its gameplay. You don't aim for the head or aim for the body to kill. You aim for the limbs. You dismember enemies to kill them. It's a really cool concept. It works so well, the gameplay. Even playing the original and then playing the remake, the original still holds up so well if you were to go and play that. But then you have the remake to fall onto, where there's a lot of improvements with that game. Some things they kind of took out, which is what you kind of expect from a remake. You don't really want that from a remake, but that's kind of what remakes do. Dead Space holds up. is a fantastic game. It's so good. It is so good. It's got a great story. All the weapons feel so good. The gameplay still holds up, and the game is so creepy and terrifying. It is just a great game. Fantastic game. Uncharted. What I will say is I started this channel a year too late. I think it was February of 2024 I got a PlayStation 5. No, I had a PlayStation 3, but I was not the kind of gamer that I was now, or I was not the kind of gamer I was then that I am now. I don't go through and play a lot of the big single player things. I played a lot of multiplayer things that you would play as a kid. Didn't really play a lot of single player. So when I got the PlayStation 5 in early 2024, I had so much backlog to get to. All of these great PlayStation franchises. I hadn't played God of War. I hadn't played Uncharted yet. So I think God of War 2018 was the first PlayStation game I made on the channel. That video is up on the channel. But there were games even before that that are classic games like Uncharted. The entire trilogy, I went through and played that. Uncharted 4, went through and played that. I think the entirety of the God of War trilogy, that's all games that I played before I started the channel. Horizon Zero Dawn, Spider-Man, and Spider-Man Miles Morales. So all these games that would be great to make videos on, I already had those games finished by the time I started the channel. So I really started the channel about a year late because all these PlayStation games would have been great for videos. But getting back to Uncharted, playing Uncharted without any nostalgia for the first time in 2024, this game really doesn't hold up in a lot of ways. I think what it does great is characters. It's got a fun story. I think that what 2 and 3 did to improve on this, I mean, there was definitely potential with the series, but there's a lot of things with gameplay that don't hold up very well in Uncharted. Definitely not one that I would want to go back and play. I think it's still a good game. It's just 2 and 3 get better. This game, there's a lot of things that haven't aged as well with Uncharted. So this one for me, 2 big franchises, but Dead Space runs away with it. Dead Rising 2 and Burnout Revenge. Burnout Revenge, is that Burnout 3? No, that's Takedown, I think. Because I think Burnout 3 was a PlayStation 2, that kind of era game. I'm looking it up very quick just to make sure I don't look stupid. Burnout Revenge is after. Okay, Burnout 3 Takedown, and then Burnout Revenge was its own thing. So I have played Dead Rising 2 before, and I don't know if I finished this one. I finished Dead Rising 2 off the record. I know they're very, very similar, but there's a couple of things that are different between the two. But Dead Rising is just a lot of fun. It's just stupid fun. Doesn't take itself too seriously with the story. It lets you pretty much pick up whatever in the world. Gives you a sandbox to go and explore. Combo weapons. Playing this game in co-op. It's a lot of fun. It definitely, I haven't played it in a minute, so this is a game I played years ago, and maybe it doesn't hold up. I do remember the gameplay being kind of clunky, but it's just a game that, it's a lot of fun. It's just stupid fun, gives you a sandbox, just go and pick up whatever you want and go kill zombies. The psychopaths being a really cool boss fight feature and kind of thing that is unique to Dead Rising. Game's a solid game, never finished it. Burnout, the only Burnout that I've played is Paradise, and I played a little bit of the original and then the remaster as well. So Burnout 3 Takedown and Burnout Revenge, if this game is any good. I've heard so many good things about Burnout 3, and I'm sure probably all the Burnout games are really good. I definitely have interest in playing Burnout. I really enjoyed Burnout Paradise, another game I didn't finish, so if that game's on this list, that'd be interesting to see what that's matched up against. Burnout's one that I could see myself getting into and playing, just haven't gotten around to it yet. So Dead Rising 2 moves on because I have played that one. But actually, you know what? I've played Dead Rising 2. I haven't finished it. I do have a lot of fun with that. I'm going to go Burnout because I feel like after playing the 2, maybe Burnout Revenge I haven't heard a lot about. Maybe it's not one of the best in the franchise. Let me know down in the comments. I'm going to go Burnout. switch it up a little bit. This is going to be, I'm just looking, we have a lot more matchups, and we're not even on the other side of the bracket. I think, yeah, there's another side of the bracket. Once we get through the first round of matchups, I'm sure it'll be a lot faster because I've already talked about all these games for the first time. What a Big Planet, Gears of War 2. I've played Little Big Planet, but it was a long time ago. This is one that I did dabble with when I was playing PlayStation as a kid. Don't remember a whole lot about it. Gears 2 is more recent, and I said Gears 3 is my favorite in the trilogy, but Gears 2 is still really, really good. It's got a great campaign. Multiplayer, I definitely didn't dabble with as much in this game as I did with 3. And there is, I do believe, Horde mode. I could be wrong with that. I think this is where Horde mode came in for the first time. What a Big Planet. I mean, it's a classic. If you played it, back in its prime, and I'm sure it still holds up now with all the creativity that people can come up with and the 2D platforming that this game is known for. But for me, Gears of War 2 edges it out. Didn't finish Little Big Planet, so I did finish Gears of War 2, so it would be Gears of War 2 regardless. But Gears of War 2 had a lot of fun with. It's got a great campaign. Just builds on what Gears of War 1 did so well. Has great third-person gameplay, co-op. It's a great game, so I'll go Gears of War 2. I'll tell you what, definitely the hardest matchup by far. I've played both these games. I love both these games. These games are so good. Halo 3, I mean, what more can you say about Halo 3 that hasn't already been said? The original trilogy of Halo games is so good. This one wraps the entire trilogy story up so well, so perfectly, with all these great characters, so many great missions. It's, I think, the shortest game out of the trilogy when it comes to the campaign. It doesn't run very long at all. But this is one, when I got the Xbox One for the first time and had the opportunity to go through and play Halo for the first time, man, it is so good. Halo 3 is a fantastic game. So many memorable missions that are so replayable. That gameplay is just so solid. It's so good. Everything feels so good. All the weapons in the sandbox you get, all the vehicles, and then the multiplayer. Not something I played back in its prime, but played through the MCC. Definitely out of the MCC, and just probably, honestly, all the Halo games that I played, my favorite multiplayer too. It's got probably my favorite campaign. I might have to debate on that one, but definitely my favorite multiplayer. Had a lot of fun with the Halo multiplayer. And then you have, I want to say, no, there was no firefight in Halo 3. It was just campaign multiplayer. I think there was Forge, but no firefight. Halo 3, fantastic game. Assassin's Creed 2, I mean, I played through the Ezio trilogy with the collection, so I played through 2 Brotherhood Revelations, and then I've also played through Assassin's Creed 3. Those are the 4 games I've played through. Haven't played through Black Flag, which I'm sure will be on this list. We'll talk about that later. But Assassin's Creed 2, it's a fantastic game. I mean, these 3 Assassin's Creed games in this trilogy, Ezio is such a great main character. All these great side characters. The way that you're able to immerse yourself in the history of the locations that you get put into with these games. The gameplay is great. The parkour is so smooth. The combat is great. Assassin's Creed 2, not my favorite I've played so far. I'm sure we'll get to the other one that I would say is my favorite, and we'll talk about that then. This is a really tough matchup, but it's Halo 3 for me. Assassin's Creed 2 is really good, but Halo 3 is just a step above that. I'm going to go Halo 3. Sid Meier's Civilization Revolution and Uncharted 2. Already talked about it earlier. Not really into these Civ games and the style, the genre that this game fits into. Have no interest in going and playing those. Uncharted 2, not my favorite out of the trilogy. Might be a hot take. I do prefer Uncharted 3. We'll talk about that, I'm sure, later on somewhere in this bracket. But I can see where Uncharted 2 is still a big step up over Uncharted 1. I did really still enjoy it. It's got those great characters, the great epic story. I think the gameplay is a lot better. The base of Uncharted is a lot smoother from Uncharted 1 to 2, which is what you would expect from a sequel. But Uncharted 2, obviously over Civ, and I'm not really a big fan of this genre, not my thing. We'll see how far Uncharted 2 goes, though. But an enjoyable game. It's still really good, but not my favorite in the trilogy. I do think that, and this might be a hot take, a lot of people put it into like the best games of all time. Not sure if I'd go as far as that, but still, I can see it. But just from my personal opinion, I think it's a great game. Nothing really more than that, though. Might be a hot take. Batman Arkham City, NFS Most Wanted. Take a quick drink. Arkham City is definitely my favorite out of the trilogy. I have gone through this trilogy. You have Asylum, City, and Night. And Arkham City just takes what made Arkham Asylum so good and improves on that. Gives you an open world to go and explore. So many great villains are brought into this game. The combat, the free flow combat is just more fine-tuned. All the voice actors do a fantastic job in this game. I mean, everything in Batman Arkham City overall I just think is probably the best out of the trilogy. I mean, you could say, graphics, Arkham Knight still looks really good to this day, but it's because it's a newer game. But just from what you want in a Batman Arkham game, this game holds up so well, even to this day. I haven't played it recently, but I mean, I'm sure it still does. That free flow combat is super iconic, and great story, great villains, characters. It is probably the best Batman game out there. Could be wrong. Maybe there's other Batman games I haven't played, but I know the Arkham trilogy is some of the best Batman you can get. And for me, Arkham City is the best out of the trilogy. Most Wanted I haven't gotten around to. This is one I have wanted to get to, is all the old school Need for Speed games. I do have a way to play those. The only one I really played a lot of as a kid was Underground 2, but I don't think I ever finished it. So pretty much all of the old school Need for Speed games are up for grabs when it comes to my first time finishing. I've heard a lot of good things about Most Wanted. You have Underground, Underground 2, Carbon, Hot Pursuit. You have all these great old school Need for Speed games. Definitely would be down to go and play through Most Wanted or any of the other old school Need for Speed games. But since I haven't played it, Arkham City will move on. Kirby's Epic Yarn Battlefield Bad Company. I won't sit and talk about this one for super long. Never played Kirby. Another Nintendo blind spot. Definitely not one at the top of the list of, you have Mario and Zelda and Donkey Kong, Metroid. I know a lot of people like Kirby. This one would definitely not be one that I would get to, right away or anytime soon. But who knows? I've never really even heard of Kirby's Epic Yarn, so maybe this is one of the best Nintendo games of all time. Not really. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no knowledge about this game. Battlefield Bad Company, a kind of blind spot for me in the Battlefield franchise. I really loved Battlefield Bad Company 2, but I didn't really play Bad Company 1 at all. I don't think I ever even touched this game's multiplayer. I did try to play its campaign not too long ago, but I wasn't really a fan of the whole kind of flow that it had going for it. But still, I mean, it was kind of the leap in terms of the graphics and the gameplay that the Battlefield franchise needed to take that next step and get to where it was super popular with Battlefield 3 and 4. So out of these two, it'd be Battlefield Bad Company. Who knows? Maybe Kirby's Epic Yarn. Super underrated. Maybe I'm sleeping on it. That's the pick. Tomb Raider versus The Simpsons game. Tomb Raider, played through 2 of the 3 games in this modern trilogy. Haven't gotten around to finishing Shadow of the Tomb Raider yet. I have started it a couple times. Didn't get around to finishing it. But Tomb Raider, I feel like is super underrated. I don't think a lot of people talk about these modern games at all. It's a different take on Uncharted, I want to say. It obviously has a lot of the same kind of, base game premises. You have 2 people that are going after artifacts, grand stories. And Tomb Raider, I feel like, is a lot more gameplay focused. Maybe that's a hot take. I don't know. With Uncharted, you have, I think, definitely better stories and characters. And the set pieces are insane in that game. But Tomb Raider does have really good gameplay and some good progression from what I remember. It's been a minute since I played this game, but I do remember really liking it. I do like Rise of the Tomb Raider more, putting the 2 between each other. But Tomb Raider, I think, great game, super underrated, trilogy, modern trilogy. I think these games definitely hold up still and are worth playing. The Simpsons game, no idea. The only Simpsons game that I even knew existed was Hit and Run, which is another game I haven't played, but I've heard a lot of good things about. So the Simpsons game, not really into The Simpsons. Just haven't watched it. Not because I don't like it, just haven't watched it. So nothing to really say about the Simpsons game. Maybe this is one of the best games of all time, but not one that I've played. Not one that I really have any interest in going and checking out. So Tomb Raider will walk away with this one. So this one just has the Sly collection as its own spot, and then versus GTA 5. So unfortunate for Sly. Sly is a franchise. Haven't gotten to it yet. Part of that PlayStation backlog. I do believe this is Sucker Punch. This is some of the first stuff that they made, if not the first stuff they made. I guess Sly collection because it's the collection on PS3, I'm assuming. I know these games, I'm pretty sure all three of these games are older than PlayStation 3. I'm going to check so I don't make myself sound stupid. Sly Cooper. I think these are PS2 games, I want to say. Yeah, PS2 and then Sly. Okay, yeah, all three of these games are on PS2, but then in 2010 you had the Sly collection. So nothing to really say about Sly. I haven't played it. I do want to get to these games. I've heard a lot of good things about them. This is definitely not at the top of the PlayStation backlog, but definitely some games I do want to get to at some point in my life. But it's going up against GTA 5. I mean, it's GTA 5. What more can you say about it? It is a fantastic game. Still holds up to this day. Graphics, story, characters, the whole world itself, all the things you can go and do and really immerse yourself in this world. I mean, Rockstar really just hasn't missed. That's why I still have full faith in GTA 6. They're taking all the time with it that they need, that haven't missed yet. So I have no reason to believe that they are going to now. I'm sure we'll see a couple other Rockstar games on this list. We already actually have with Max Payne 3. But GTA 5, it's just fantastic. Still going through the GTA back catalog as we speak right now. Still playing through Vice City. Played through 3 last year, so I've only played 3 and 5. Still want to get to Vice City, San Andreas, and 4. GTA 5 moves on here. Uncharted 3, Driver San Francisco. Haven't played Driver San Francisco. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Not a franchise I've gotten into. I feel like it's another kind of underrated racing game franchise I feel like not a lot of people talk about. I really haven't heard a lot about it. This is one that I feel like might be the best in the franchise from what I've heard. I could be wrong about that. Let me know down in the comments if you're a big Driver fan. Am I wrong about that? At some point I would like to get the Driver San Francisco. Don't know a whole lot about it, but it's a game that I've heard enough about, good things about, to where at some point with all the games that are in the backlog, maybe I'll get to this game and somehow play it. Uncharted 3, like I mentioned earlier with Uncharted 2, my favorite game in the trilogy. I think it is just an upgraded and more refined version of the previous 2. I can see where you might, think story-wise it's maybe not as great. I can see that. There's a lot of great set pieces in this game as well. I think the gameplay is just more refined. I had a lot more fun with the gameplay. Didn't feel as frustrating, and it still had that Uncharted charm to it with the great characters. Maybe with a replay of Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3, my mind might change. They're still pretty close, but just from what I remember after finishing 2 and then going into 3, finishing that one, 3 was my favorite out of the 2. Maybe it could go either way, but for this matchup, Uncharted 3. XCOM versus Bioshock. XCOM, turn-based game. 2 genres I'm not really into, and it's like heavy turn-based and then the RTS real-time strategy games. So XCOM is not a game I've gotten into. It's not a game I really plan on getting into, or a franchise that I really plan on getting into. Maybe this game would be the one if I were to try it out. Give it maybe just a good try. Maybe I'll get into the turn-based, and XCOM I know is one of the biggest, if not biggest, franchises in that genre. Just not my thing. I don't really have any interest in going and checking it out. Bioshock Infinite, though, is a really good game. I'd probably say it's better than BioShock 2. Not as good as BioShock 1, but it still is a fantastic game. Different from the other two. Takes place in... I'm not even going to try to remember. I don't want to sound stupid. Instead of underwater, we're up in the sky. Let's just say that. It's got a lot of new ideas with its gameplay. It really... if you were to take BioShock 2 and Infinite, put them side by side, I feel like Infinite kind of looks like a completely different franchise. Maybe that's a hot take too. Maybe I just don't remember what Infinite looks like compared to 2. I don't know. But there's a lot of new things that BioShock Infinite has going for it. I really do remember liking the story a lot and the characters. The gameplay was a lot of fun. I remember being able to grapple around on the little sky rail system and bounce all over the place, killing enemies. That was a lot of fun. The setting itself is beautiful. BioShock Infinite is a great game. It is a really good game that a lot of these games I haven't replayed more than one time. I don't really go back and replay games a lot because I always want to move on to the next thing. There's always new games coming out. Always old games that I haven't gotten around to that I want to play. So a lot of these games you might kind of be like, oh, he doesn't really know what he's talking about, it sounds like. It's just because I haven't played these games in so long. My memory isn't that great for the most part when it comes to most of these games. So I do apologize for that. But I do remember liking BioShock Infinite a lot, and it was a lot of fun. That moves on. Metroid Prime 3, Injustice. Nintendo blind spot. Have not played Metroid. Another one that would have liked to get to in the backlog. I feel like out of the Nintendo backlog, this is definitely in the top 3. I feel like Mario goes first, then Zelda, then Metroid. Especially with the 3D Marios, I feel like I'd really like those. Metroid Prime, haven't played it, but I definitely want to get around to it. Injustice, Gods Among Us, I remember playing this a little bit. Didn't play it a lot, never finished it. Out of the 2 games, I don't know if Metroid Prime 3 is well loved. I'm just going to say Metroid Prime 3. Why not? Let's just throw that up there. Oh man, this is not... Wow. This is a heck of a matchup. God of War 3, Red Dead Redemption. Gotta take a drink for this one. Whew, this is 2 heavy hitters. God of War 3, franchise that I just somewhat recently checked out for the first time. I mean, out of the original trilogy, I feel like it's definitely my favorite. I mean, just the way that the story builds up to this game and all the crazy things that you go and do in this game. Just so... the moments are so huge. The boss fights are fantastic. The hack and slash gameplay is better than it's ever been with the trilogy. It's more refined. I just feel like with the way that the story is all built up to this final act, final chapter in this trilogy, it just holds so much weight. There's so many great moments, not even from the boss fights, but just the way that God of War, that original trilogy, had so many great big spectacle moments that you remember for sure. This game had a lot of great boss fights. I mean, if you've played it, you know what I'm talking about. Everything just kind of built up into this game, and a great finale to the trilogy. Great game. A fantastic game. Red Dead Redemption, I mean, man, what a video game. What a video game. I didn't play this one until, I want to say it was the early 2020s. So this is one I didn't get around to. I played Red Dead Redemption 2 first, and then played 1. So it was kind of the backwards effect, I guess, to where obviously 1 came out before 2 did, but 2 is a prequel to 1. So, I mean, just the way that the 2 games can be played in 2 different ways, and you can have 2 different experiences come out of that, just shows you how good these games are. This game still holds up. It is beautiful graphically. I mean, for 2010, I can't believe how good this game still looks to this day. The story's fantastic. Great characters. The setting of the Wild West and being able to live in that and immerse yourself in that. It's done so well. I think 2 is probably my favorite out of the two, but Red Dead 1 is so good in so many different ways that if you haven't played Red Dead before, you gotta go check it out. And playing Red Dead 2 before Red Dead 1 was so much fun. It's just a great way, and it shows you how good of a game Red Dead 2 is and how well written that game is, to be able to go from 2 to 1, a prequel, into the next game and still have a great experience. Out of the two games, it's Red Dead. It's like I said with Halo 3 and Assassin's Creed 2. God of War 3 is a really great game, fantastic, but Red Dead Redemption is a step up. I'm very worried. We're almost at the bottom of the first side. We're almost at the bottom. I'm going to take a quick look at where we're at. 55 minutes. Wow. Wow. This is going to be a long one for sure. L.A. Noire Guild Wars 2. Haven't finished L.A. Noire. I've played it before. I did enjoy it a good bit. Excuse me. But just never finished it. I never got around to finishing it. I think it is a great game that holds up well in a lot of ways. Some ways it kind of doesn't age as great. I don't remember the gameplay being that great, but I think what this game does so good, and have that really unique motion capture system with all the conversations and the facial recordings, I guess, that you saw, and the way that the faces were captured. It makes conversations look a lot more realistic. Sometimes it makes them look stupid, a little funny, but for the most part makes them look a lot more realistic. And just the setting and the way that this game goes about doing all the investigative work is really, really cool. Guild Wars 2, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to have to look this up because I don't think I know what Guild Wars is. Maybe that's you don't know ball moment. I do apologize. I'm going to look it up. It is an MMORPG. I did not know that. So I do apologize for all my Guild Wars 2 lovers out there. I don't know ball. Never played Guild Wars at all. Maybe this is something, I don't know if it's even still a playable game. Maybe it's worth playing. Let me know in the comments. I do apologize for my lack of knowledge on Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2. For this one, it's going to be L.A. Noire. Bayonetta and The Darkness. I don't think I've ever heard of The Darkness. I have heard of Bayonetta before. I'm going to look up The Darkness because, again, maybe a lack of ball knowledge. I don't know what that is. We're going to look it up real quick. 2007 first-person shooter. Developed by Starbreeze. Interesting. Kind of looks pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. It looks pretty... I mean, just based on that concept. I'm going to look at a couple images. Huh. Very interesting. Let me know down in the comments, is The Darkness worth playing? Is it an underrated game? I don't know anything about this franchise, or if it's not even a franchise, if it's just a game. I'm going to go Bayonetta, just because I know what Bayonetta is. I feel like, that game has like 3 games or more in the franchise. Just based on that alone. Maybe The Darkness is super underrated. I haven't heard of it, haven't played it. We're going to go Bayonetta, but let me know for both. Are both worth playing? Because I haven't played either. We're going to go Bayonetta. This is a good matchup. This is actually... this is a tough one. Halo 3 ODST, Dead Space 2. ODST is, I feel like, it's just super underrated when it comes to Halo. Obviously, it's basically just kind of like a Halo 3 DLC, but just on a little bit of a bigger scale. Has the same engine, pretty much the same gameplay, a couple new weapons, the suppressed SMG and the pistol, but just the setting of Mombasa, the story. I wish we had more Halo games like this. Not every Halo game needs to have Master Chief in it or have that be the focus. You can do Halo spin-offs and have stories like this be told where you're playing as a character that doesn't talk, the Rookie, and having all these other great, likable side characters in a shorter game, a shorter experience, where you don't even play as a Spartan. Halo 3 ODST is a great campaign. The setting and the vibes and the atmosphere, the soundtrack is so good. And then obviously there's no multiplayer, but you have Firefight, which is a great addition. Halo 3 ODST is a great game. Dead Space 2, I don't like as much as Dead Space 1, but still is a great game. Not one that I remember as much as Dead Space 1, but I do remember it still being a really good game. It's definitely more, I think from what I remember, action focused, but it's still holding that survival horror gameplay and that kind of formula that Dead Space 1 did so well. A lot of great moments in the story, still very creepy, terrifying, unsettling atmosphere. I remember there's a couple moments that just make you go, how do you even think of that? How do developers even think of that? This is a tough one. This is a really tough one. If I had to pick, I feel like, oh man, this is tough. I'm going to go Halo 3 ODST. This one could go either way. Dead Space 2 is a really good game. Halo 3 ODST is a great campaign. You can play it in co-op. Great. I mean, the soundtrack is just something I always go back to. And then having Firefight on the side of that. Could go either way. I'm going to go Halo 3 ODST. Prototype 2, Sleeping Dogs. I've heard of Prototype. Have not gotten around to playing it. I think this is an Activision game, if I'm not mistaken. One that people really want to be brought back if Xbox decides to go big on the backwards compatibility. I've heard good things about Prototype, but I have not gotten around to it. Sleeping Dogs, if you pay attention to the channel, I have checked it out. It's a game I definitely want to get to. I put a couple hours into it a few months ago. Really enjoyed what I played, just haven't gotten back to it yet. It's just again, kind of like with Saints Row, great GTA alternative. It does a lot of really cool things with its open world from what I've played so far. Out of the two, which one do I think I would enjoy most? I'm going to go Sleeping Dogs. But let me know if Prototype is an underrated game franchise I need to check out. Resistance 3, Batman Arkham Origins. This is a tough one because I haven't finished either of these games. Resistance, another PlayStation backlog franchise I haven't gotten around to yet. I do want to get to these games though. I've heard they're very good, underrated first-person shooters. If I can get to them at some point, I definitely want to, but I just have not gotten the chance to yet. Batman Arkham Origins, again, if you've paid attention to the channel, I think I've put this into a what I've been playing video before. I have tried to play it again, didn't get around to finishing it, not because I didn't like it, just got sidetracked. But I did really enjoy what I played. Obviously, this is the one that's not rock steady, it's not part of the trilogy, it's a prequel, but it still does have that great free flow combat. And this is a tough one because I feel like Resistance I might like more, maybe, but I'm going to go Batman Arkham Origins. I don't know if Resistance 3 is the most popular one out of the trilogy. I've heard a lot of good things about 2. Maybe I'm wrong about that. This one could go either way, but I'm going to go Batman Arkham Origins. I feel like we should knock this down to 64 because 128 is a lot. We're only halfway through. It's been an hour. Sims 3, Modern Warfare 2. Two childhood games for me. I loved playing Sims 3 as a kid. Just that formula, that life sim gameplay, still holds up to this day. It's still a lot of fun. And even going back to it, you're still going to have a lot of fun with The Sims 3. It's still a great game that holds up. Modern Warfare 2 is one that I love the campaign. It's a great campaign with a lot of epic moments, memorable missions. Still holds up if you want to go back and play through it to this day. Great second game in the trilogy. Has a lot of great, memorable characters. The multiplayer is one that I didn't play in its prime. I feel like I don't like it as much just from what I've played as a lot of people do. A lot of people put MW2's multiplayer as the best in the franchise. I don't know if I'd say that, but then again, I don't have the experience of playing this game in its prime. And then you have Spec Ops, which is a good, solid side mode in this game. You don't have survival, but you have the missions that you can play in co-op. So I do think Modern Warfare 2 is a great Call of Duty game, and I would pick it over The Sims 3. Now I need to figure out how to go over to the other side of the bracket. I'm going to stop. Is there another side of the bracket? I'm assuming there is. I'm going to stop, do a quick edit, and we'll be back. So I do think the way that the website is having me do it is we're going to do this side of the bracket and then do the next side of the bracket, which is not the way I kind of wanted to do it. I kind of want to do all the first round matchups before we get to the second, and then kind of go down the list that way. But we'll do it the way the website wants. So we're going to stick to the left side. This should go a whole lot faster because I've already talked about these games. Still, that's a very unfortunate ad for a game that we're never going to see. A game that I never got to play. So maybe I go back and play the original. Getting sidetracked. We're going to continue down the left side of the bracket. These should go a lot faster. Black Ops 1, Portal 2. Portal 2, a lot of people say it's one of the best games of all time. I can see it, but as someone who's not as big into puzzles as I am into first-person shooters, even though maybe Portal 2, I guess you can say is a first-person shooter. I don't know. I'm going to go Black Ops 1. I have a lot more nostalgia for that game, and I do think that between the two, I'd rather go play Black Ops 1 than play Portal 2 again, even though I think Portal 2 is definitely the best puzzle game I've ever played, just because I'm not as high on puzzle games. I'm going to go Black Ops 1. I think it's still one of the best COD games I've played. Max Payne 3 versus Gears 3. Haven't played Max Payne 3. I have played through Gears of War 3. Gears of War 3 moves on. Bioshock 2, Rock Band 3. Rock Band 3 I haven't played in years, and I'm sure it's still a lot of fun. Really quick, just for the fun of it, I'm going to look up what was on that soundtrack. And if it's good enough, maybe I put it over Bioshock 2. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. But I'm very curious as to what was on this soundtrack. I'm going to look it up very, very quick just to see. Avenged Sevenfold, Marilyn Manson, Slipknot, Queen, Anthrax, The Doors, Ozzy Osbourne, Jimi Hendrix, The Police, Rammstein, Steve Miller Band, Def Leppard. This soundtrack. There was a lot of good stuff. Yeah, I remember playing Rock Band 3 a lot. Misery Business from Paramore. But I'm going to go Bioshock 2. I'm going to go Bioshock 2. Even though it's not my favorite Bioshock game, I just think I'd probably have more fun going back and playing Rock Band 3, especially if I was with other people. But just as an experience, I feel like Bioshock 2 would be the one to pick out of the two. So Metal Gear Solid 4, Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time. Two games I have not played, so this is going to be another one where it's which one do I think I would enjoy more. I'm going to go Metal Gear Solid 4 on this one. I have no idea where this Ratchet and Clank is ranked in the grand scheme of things, because there's so many. I've heard a lot of good things about 4. We're going to go 4. Oh my gosh. Left 4 Dead 2, Mass Effect 3. Both games I love. I think out of these two, I'm going to go Left 4 Dead 2. It is one of, if not the best co-op games of all time. Mass Effect 3 is still a really, really good game. It's a great sci-fi RPG, wraps up the story, with the ending maybe not in the best way, but it's just still many great moments with that campaign, the story, with all the characters. But it's not my favorite in the trilogy. I feel like that also holds it back. I feel like if it was Left 4 Dead 2 versus Mass Effect 2, I hope I don't see that matchup happen. That would be a tough one. That might be a little more tough. I'm going to go Left 4 Dead 2. Left 4 Dead 2 is a great, fantastic video game. Saints Row 2 versus Borderlands. These are two games I've played before, but haven't finished. So I'm going to go based on what I've played. Which one do I think I would enjoy more going through and finishing it? I'm going to go Saints Row 2. I had a lot of fun with Saints Row 2, especially since, you can play Borderlands in co-op. All the Borderlands games are great in co-op. There's a ton to do. But Saints Row 2, again, also is a great co-op game. And it's a game that can stand beside GTA. Probably not on the same level, but it still holds its own in that kind of genre of open world, sandbox, just do whatever you want, have fun, be immersed. Saints Row 2. World at War versus Dead Space. World at War is one that is probably, if I ever were to do a Call of Duty games ranking, it's not in my top 5. It's still a great COD game I can see, and I have respect for what it did. It's just because I didn't play this multiplayer in its prime. I really didn't play it at all. It's got zombies to hold on to, which is still a really fun mode to go back and check out. And the campaign still holds up, and it's still a great campaign. But Dead Space, like I said, is one of my favorite survival horror games of all time. still holds up. You have the remake to go back to, but even the original is still a fantastic survival horror game. Going with Dead Space. Burnout Revenge, Gears 2. Haven't played through Burnout Revenge before. I have played through Gears 2, so Gears 2 is the game that's going to move on. Halo 3, Uncharted 2. For a lot of people, this might be a really tough matchup. I've already kind of said my piece on Uncharted 2. I still think it's a great game, but definitely not up there for me in terms of best game of all time. I can see why people really enjoy it, and maybe with the second playthrough I might respect it and enjoy it a lot more, but Halo 3 is an all-timer for me. It's got fantastic story, gameplay, campaign's great, short but sweet, ends this trilogy in a great way with all these great characters, and has a fantastic multiplayer. Halo 3. Batman Arkham City, Battlefield Bad Company. Never finished Battlefield Bad Company, but even if I did, it's Batman Arkham City. Tomb Raider GTA 5. I still think Tomb Raider is a very underrated game, and the modern trilogy. A lot of good things with those games, but GTA 5, I mean, it's just on another level. It's Rockstar at their best, doing what they do best. GTA 5. Uncharted 3, BioShock Infinite. This is a sneaky good matchup. I would go... I said Uncharted 3 is my favorite in the trilogy. Oh man, this is tough. This is actually really tough. I think both of these games are great games. This is a really tough matchup. Maybe it's not for other people, but for me, for right now, it's actually I don't know which one I would pick. I'm going to go with... I'll go Uncharted 3. I feel like I could go with BioShock Infinite with that one, and I definitely could. That one could go either way, but Uncharted 3's more fresh on my mind. I've played that more recently. It's a great way to end off that trilogy, and like I said earlier, it's got more refined gameplay. It does what Uncharted 2 does, and it just takes that gameplay and refines it even more. It's got great set pieces. I think the story, I can see that being something that, Uncharted 2 is definitely better. I'm going to go Uncharted 3. BioShock Infinite is still a great game. Definitely would recommend playing those as well. Metroid Prime 3, never played. It's Red Dead Redemption. L.A. Noire, Bayonetta. It's L.A. Noire. Never played Bayonetta. I haven't finished L.A. Noire, but it still is something that I have at least checked out and do have interest in going back to. That's the pick. Halo 3 ODST, Sleeping Dogs. Haven't finished Sleeping Dogs. Did really enjoy what I played of it, but I do really love Halo 3 ODST. That'll be the pick there. Batman Arkham Origins, Modern Warfare 2. Haven't finished Arkham Origins. Did enjoy what I played of it. Just feels like more Batman. Modern Warfare 2, a great Call of Duty game with a lot going for it, and it's a great package of a game. Modern Warfare 2. Oh man. Wow. So now we're on to the next set of matchups in this side of the bracket. Black Ops 1, Gears of War 3. Man, this is a tough one. This is a tough matchup. Black Ops 1, I definitely have a lot more nostalgia for. I played that a lot more as a kid. But Gears of War 3, I mean, it's a great game. It really is a great third-person shooter. That trilogy wraps up so well with all those great characters. Great, memorable story moments. The multiplayer, from what I've played, is a lot of fun. Horde mode being in there. But I feel like I could go either way with the campaigns. I think they're both on equal levels. Maybe Gears 3 might edge it out a smidge with the campaign, but I prefer Black Ops 1 multiplayer and zombies to Gears 3 multiplayer and Horde. So I think as a total package, I'm going to go Black Ops 1. BioShock 2, Metal Gear Solid 4. This is where Metal Gear Solid 4 stops. Haven't played it before. I have played through BioShock 2. If you want me to play through Metal Gear Solid, I definitely will. It's a big blind spot. One of my biggest gaming franchise blind spots. I will definitely do it. BioShock 2 moves on just because I have finished it. Left 4 Dead 2, Saints Row 2. I've already said I've really enjoyed what I've played of Saints Row 2, but I have not finished it. Left 4 Dead 2, again, probably my favorite co-op game of all time. Just holds up so well. There's so much to it. Left 4 Dead 2 moves on. This is an interesting one for sure. Dead Space versus Gears of War 2. Dead Space. I mean, I've already said it's my favorite survival horror game of all time. Gears of War 2, not my favorite in the trilogy. Not because I don't like it. I still really do enjoy this game. It's just 3 kind of upgraded what 2 did in so many ways. The story is still really great in this game. There's a lot of great emotional moments as well for what you would kind of think is just, oh, big dudes, explosions, kind of action kind of game, and there's not really a lot of story to it. There's some really great moments in the Gears trilogy, and especially in Gears 2, and not a multiplayer that I've really checked out a whole lot, so I can't really say a lot about that. Horde I didn't really check out a lot. So Gears 2, still a great game, but Dead Space, we'll move on. Halo 3, Batman Arkham City. A really tough matchup. Really like Batman Arkham City, but I love Halo 3. Halo 3 will move on, but Batman Arkham City, my favorite out of that Arkham trilogy, still holds up to this day. It, I think, has the best story, gameplay is just the most refined. That open world is so much fun to explore. I would love to do a replay of it. There's a lot of these games I would love to go back and do a replay of just to see how they hold up now compared to when I played through them. If they're as good now as they were then when I went through, Batman Arkham City would be a great one to go back to. But Halo 3, just a total package. Fantastic campaign, fantastic multiplayer. It moves on. GTA 5, Uncharted 3. GTA 5 will move on here. Really do enjoy Uncharted 3, but GTA 5, it's just on another level. It's a fantastic game. Ooh, a battle. Oh, is this going to be... I really hope we don't see the matchup that I think we're going to see in the future. But Red Dead 1 versus L.A. Noire. A battle of the Rockstar games. I feel like L.A. Noire is definitely kind of outclassed here, even though I haven't finished it. So maybe, who knows, maybe it is that kind of game where it's as good as Red Dead Redemption. But I've finished Red Dead 1. I have not finished L.A. Noire. Red Dead 1 will move on. Halo 3 ODST Modern Warfare 2. This one, oh my gosh. This one's going to be a tough one. I feel like out of all the matchups so far, since I have played both these games, I might get a little bit of hate for this one. I would probably go Halo 3 ODST. Now, the campaign of Modern Warfare 2 is really good. I still think, I don't know, I'd probably prefer Modern Warfare 2's campaign over 3 ODST. They're very close, but then you have the multiplayer, which still, even though it's a multiplayer I haven't played a lot of, it still is, you can definitely have a lot of fun with it. I can definitely see why people love it. You know what? I'm actually going to go Modern Warfare 2. I think it is more of a total package. I love Halo 3 ODST, but Modern Warfare 2, that multiplayer, even though it's something that I still enjoy but don't enjoy as much as a lot of other people do. You have Spec Ops in there as well that you can play in co-op. That campaign, I think, just slightly edges out ODSTs. We'll go Modern Warfare 2. Now we're on to the next set of matchups. Black Ops 1 versus Bioshock 2. Really enjoyed Bioshock 2. Had a lot of fun with it. Black Ops 1, to me, you'll see another Call of Duty game on here that I think is probably my favorite out of the Call of Duty, 360 PS3 generation. So I'm loving Black Ops 1 a lot right now. I think it still is a great total package. I'm going to pick it over Bioshock 2. We're going to move on Black Ops 1. Campaign multiplayer zombies. Oh my gosh. Whew. This is a tough one. This is a tough matchup. Left 4 Dead 2 versus Dead Space. Both fantastic games in their own genres. Kind of the same genre, but not really. Obviously, Dead Space not co-op. Left 4 Dead is, but Dead Space is more survival horror focused. Left 4 Dead 2 can still be very scary, can still be terrifying, but Dead Space definitely a lot more in that direction. Out of the two, This is a really tough one. I'm going to go Left 4 Dead 2. It just holds up so well. It's so timeless. And so is Dead Space. I could still go back and play Dead Space and have so much fun with it. But just with how much there is to do in Left 4 Dead 2, how much content there is, I'm going to have Left 4 Dead 2 move on. That's a really tough matchup. Okay. Ooh, this is still a really tough matchup, though. I thought we would get GTA 5 and Red Dead, and we still might. I don't know. This is a really tough matchup. So far, GTA 5 has kind of been just running away with every matchup that it's been involved in, but this one, there's some competition here. Oh, I mean, GTA 5, even including its online, I mean, there's still so much to do with that. The story is great. Definitely not my favorite Rockstar game, but it's up there. It is still a really fantastic game. I mean, it holds up so well to this day. 13 years later, we're still waiting on GTA 6, and people are still playing GTA 5. But Halo 3, fantastic campaign, fantastic multiplayer. I'm going to pick Halo 3 to move on. Might be a hot take. I love Halo 3. It still holds up so well with its gameplay. That multiplayer I can still go back to and play hours of to this day. And, I mean, this could go either way. I'm going to go Halo 3. Red Dead 1 versus Modern Warfare 2. Still a tough matchup, but Red Dead 1 definitely edges it out. That game is so good at what it does. A fantastic single-player experience. Modern Warfare 2, still a really good Call of Duty game, but I'm going to go Red Dead 1 over it. I think we're down to our final four. These are going to be really tough matchups. Black Ops 1 versus Left 4 Dead 2. Whew! Man, this is... wow. You have zombies in Black Ops 1. You have zombies, and that multiplayer is so good. The campaign is so good. Left 4 Dead 2 still holds up. There's so much to do. Probably my favorite co-op game of all time. This one is like 50-50. It's 51-49 because I gotta pick one of them. I am going to pick Black Ops 1. It has zombies to fall back on. If it didn't have zombies, even with the campaign and multiplayer, it would still probably have a really good chance of beating Left 4 Dead 2. But because you have that PvP multiplayer mode, but you can still go over and have a lot of fun with the zombies, it's just a total package. Black Ops 1. Halo 3 versus Red Dead Redemption. I am going to go another really tough one. Two fantastic video games that, if I'm going to be honest, I feel like this might be the championship matchup, because I think either way, I think I would probably pick both of these games over Black Ops 1. So both of these games being here, I think I would pick over Black Ops 1. Oh my gosh. I am going to pick out of these two games. Whew. I mean, just to talk it out, because I don't want to sit here in complete silence while I struggle internally to figure out which one is better. I mean, you can go either way. A lot of these matchups could go either way. Halo 3. I mean, I've already said the same thing over and over again with pretty much all these games at this point that have gone on multiple times. I'm going to pick Halo 3. I'm just going to pick Halo 3. I think the fact that I've replayed this campaign so many times, that multiplayer is so good. I'm picking Halo 3. Red Dead's still a fantastic game, and then like I said, this is still a great matchup, but I'm going to pick Halo 3. And that is going to be the representative on that side of the bracket. And we'll come back into the next side of the bracket now. Alright, we're starting up the second side of the bracket. Took me an hour to go through the first side, or I guess an hour and 20 actually to go through the first side. So this will be a good first podcast episode. Good first topic. Have 64 more matchups to go through, or if I did that math right, no, 32 on this side to go through in this first round. So let's start knocking them out. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare versus Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. COD 4 really brought the franchise to the forefront. A lot of people started paying attention to Call of Duty with Call of Duty 4, and it still holds up. The campaign is still a really good campaign. Multiplayer is still a lot of fun. Not one that I've messed around with a whole lot because it's really kind of before my time, but still, going back to it, it still holds up. And then you have other things. This is before a third mode was introduced, but you have like the arcade mode in the campaign. This is a COD campaign that I replayed a lot as a kid. This and Modern Warfare 2, both games that I replayed the campaigns to a lot when I was a kid. Didn't have access to multiplayer. Put the Modern Warfare 2 campaigns on repeat, had a lot of fun with it. Hot Pursuit, I have not finished. I've played the remaster, a couple hours of that. Didn't really get super far into it, not because it was bad, just because I just didn't get into it. Definitely one of those where I know it's a newer, it's not new, it's still on this list, so I think it's like 2010, 2011, but one that I do want to get to at some point in that kind of back catalog Need for Speed game. So with this one, haven't finished Hot Pursuit, Call of Duty 4 is going to be the pick. Hotline Miami, Mirror's Edge, two very, very different games that I've very little experience with. Hotline Miami, I've played very little of. It's kind of a very unique game, I would say. Not a lot of games are like it. Very difficult, fast-paced, clearing rooms out. Haven't really played a whole lot of it. Mirror's Edge is one that I tried to get into a couple years back. Just never really got into it, but I know it'd be a lot of fun, I feel like, with that first-person parkour being as good as it is, and as good as what I've heard. This is a tough one to pick from two games I haven't finished. Which one do I think I would enjoy more? I'm going to go Mirror's Edge. This one could go to Hot Miami on a different day, but I feel like I would enjoy Mirror's Edge just a little more. Mafia 2, Burnout Paradise. I played a lot of Burnout Paradise as a kid, I feel like, and even with the remaster I played a little bit of. I don't think I ever actually finished it, but I did finish Mafia 2, but Burnout Paradise, the only experience I have with the franchise, but it's so good. The destruction and the racing, the feel of it just feels so good to be able to wreck cars. The slow-mo camera that happens whenever you take down a car. The customization. The soundtrack is really good. Obviously with like Paradise City being a big one. Had a lot of fun with this as a kid, but I don't think I finished it. I did finish Mafia 2. I've finished Mafia 1, 2, and the Old Country. That Old Country review is on the channel from last year. Didn't get around to 3 yet. Out of Mafia 1 and 2, I feel like that's a tough one because I know a lot of people would definitely pick Mafia 2. I could go either way with it. I think Mafia they have great stories. I definitely do enjoy the stories, but there's not a lot around that to go and do. It's very, you get placed in this open world. There's definitely a couple things you can go do, but not a lot to do besides the story. Kind of the same thing they went with in Old Country as well. But since this one I finished Mafia 2, I haven't finished Burnout Paradise, we'll go Mafia 2. Okay, this might be complete lack of ball knowledge. I think that says, I don't know what that says. I don't know what game that is. That's an F. I think that's an E. And it's an S. Is that Fez? Is that a game? I feel like I've heard of Fez. I'm going to look this up just so I can, increase my ball knowledge. It is Fez. I have no idea what this game is. I've never heard of it. So I do apologize for my Fez fans out there. If you're watching, maybe you're screaming at me right now, how do you not know about Fez? I do apologize. Lack of ball knowledge there for sure. Maybe Fez is a really great game. I have no idea what Fez is. Let me know down in the comments if it's worth checking out. Gears of War, really enjoyed the first game. I've gone back and played the campaign a couple of times. It still does hold up. There's a couple of things you can say, didn't really age well, but it's a great starting point for the franchise. It will move on. So this one, I feel like, we had the Sly collection a little earlier, the orange box. I mean, this is another big blind spot for me. Games that are currently in the backlog, currently in my Steam library, ready to go, and that is Half-Life. I have not played through Half-Life before. Half-Life 1, Half-Life 2, a lot of the old Valve games have not experienced. Now, I've played Portal 2, I played a lot of Left 4 Dead, I had no idea about Team Fortress. I never really played Team Fortress or got into it. Portal 1, never played. But then you have Fallout 3. Again, I've played this a little bit. I have played this before, but never finished it. The most experience I've gotten with Fallout is with New Vegas. I got through a good chunk of that game, but never finished it on the 360. And that's a big franchise blind spot for me. I've never actually finished a Fallout game. You have Fallout, the originals, which are the top-down ones from a different developer that's not Bethesda, but then 3 and New Vegas and 4. New Vegas is from Obsidian, but those are the 3D, first-person, more modern games that I haven't played through. I feel like for this one to go Fallout 3, I haven't finished either of these games, but this one being a collection, for some people might be like, oh, that's an easy steal. I get 3 games in one. I'm just going to go Fallout 3. I know I would probably really enjoy Half-Life 2. I liked Portal 2, so I'll probably like Portal 1. Team Fortress, I don't really know if that's my thing. I'm going to go Fallout 3. I feel like I would enjoy that one more. But this one could go either way. Ooh, okay. So Spec Ops: The Line versus The Witcher 2. Spec Ops: The Line, if you don't know what this game is, it's super underrated. It's a third-person shooter. I don't even know. I guess Jaeger, maybe the developer of it. 2K maybe published it. I'm going to look it up really quick just to see because I'm curious. Came out in 2012. Third-person shooter. It was Jaeger development. What games have they developed? I'm just going to go kind of into it. Nothing really noteworthy besides this game. Super underrated game. It's a pretty, short, streamlined experience, but it's got a lot of great moments in its story with its characters. A really dark story, very grounded, I feel like. There's a lot of just terrifying moments that happen in this game that you don't really see a lot in games, I feel like. It definitely opens your eyes to a lot of things that happen with just war in general. A lot of things. But this game's story is really great. And it's got good, solid third-person gameplay from what I remember. I don't know if this is like a franchise or anything. I guess it is. Spec Ops is a series. You have Spec Ops, Rangers Lead the Way. I've never even looked at that. This is definitely the most recent one. And I don't think we're going to get any more Spec Ops games. Definitely an underrated one. If you haven't checked that out, go check it out. Witcher 2, I have actually not mentioned on the channel. I did kind of start this game up for a couple hours. I do want to get through the Witcher games. I'm not sure if I'm going to play through the Witcher 2 because I kind of just want to get to Witcher 3. But let me know down in the comments, is Witcher 2 worth playing through? Because that's kind of the question I was asking myself and looking up. I've heard so many good things about 3. I know 2 is still a really good game, but I just kind of want to get to 3. And that's kind of the way I want to go about it. But if you think that 2 going into 3 is the best way to do it, I will definitely go about it that way. But I have not played through 2. Spec Ops: The Line is going to be a choice here because I have finished it. Last of Us versus Prey. Old school Prey, not new Prey, which I also haven't played. I haven't played old Prey or new Prey, so that's a blind spot there. I've definitely wanted to check out new Prey from Arcane. I don't remember if Arcane developed this original one as well. I don't know if this is a different developer. I can't really see on the box. Is original Prey worth playing? I don't know. I've heard good things about it. Let me know down in the comments. Is this game worth playing at all? Because I have no idea. I don't really know anything about it either. The Last of Us is a fantastic video game. This is one that when I got the PlayStation back in 2024, hopped into this one pretty soon after. Big part of the backlog, and man, it's one of my favorite games of all time. It is such a fantastic video game that, I mean, when I finished it, I was just left there just shocked, jaw on the floor. I mean, the ending is so good. All of the story moments that happen throughout the entire runtime, the fantastic characters, the world, and the atmosphere of this game. The gameplay that at first I didn't really enjoy, but it really grew on me and it really felt great by the end of the game. This game holds up so well. I played the remastered version. I know they've remade it, remastered it so many times. I didn't play The Last of Us Part 1, but I played the remastered version that came on the PS4. This game is so good. I have no idea about its multiplayer. Never played that. Didn't really check that out at all with the remaster and the playthrough I did. So I have nothing to say about the multiplayer, but the single player, one of the best gaming experiences I've ever had. And definitely have part 2 in the backlog. So if you want to see that bump up sometime soon, let me know, because I will definitely check that out. I've heard very, very interesting things about that game. Not any spoilers or anything like that, but I know that game is very back and forth with a lot of people. Some people love it, some people hate it. Last of Us moves on with that matchup, because I haven't played Prey. Ratchet & Clank, Tools of Destruction, and Borderlands 2. Again, like I said earlier with the other Ratchet & Clank game, big blind spot. I know there's a ton of games on the PS3 and PS2 that I have not checked out. So it's kind of the same story here. I do want to check out Ratchet & Clank at some point. There's a huge backlog of games to get through. But Borderlands 2 is a fantastic co-op game, looter shooter. I talked about Borderlands 1 earlier and how that game was a good, solid game, but you can just tell Borderlands 2 did a lot to improve on that formula, and it's still to this day, I feel like for most people, a lot of people, their favorite game in the franchise. From what I've played of the other ones, this is definitely my favorite game. It's very replayable. You can go back. There's so much to do, and with it being co-op up to 4 players, there's a lot to do in Borderlands 2. That's going to be the pick here, because I haven't played Ratchet & Clank. Braid versus Bioshock. Finally get to talk about Bioshock. Man, this game is fantastic. It is one of my favorite games of all time. Where to start with Bioshock? The setting of Rapture, the underwater city. What a cool setting, and the way that it's fleshed out and just super unique. It's its own thing. It gets you super immersed in that setting. The story's fantastic with so many twists and turns along the way. Things you did not expect. Great characters, great villains. The weapons are super unique and fun to mess around with. The gameplay's a lot of fun. It's really the total package when it comes to a single-player first-person shooter that just does so much. It is such a great game. It's a fantastic game. If you haven't checked out Bioshock, it still holds up so well. I think the only thing I can think of that a lot of people complain about, or maybe some people complain about, is that little hacking mini-game thing. It's been a minute since I've played Bioshock, so I could be wrong, but I mean, this game is so good. This game is fantastic. I've heard of Braid, but I don't really know what it is, so I'm going to look it up on the spot so I don't look stupid. And so I am always increasing my ball knowledge when it comes to games. From 2008, it's an indie puzzle platformer. So definitely just off of that, not at the top of the list in terms of games that I would like to get to. But who knows? Let me know down in the comments. Is Braid one of them games? Is it a game that I should check out? Let me know. But Bioshock is going to move on. Heavy Rain versus Mass Effect. Heavy Rain's interesting because this is from Quantic Dream. They made Detroit Become Human. I think they did Beyond Two Souls. I think that was the game in the middle of those two. I could be wrong about that. I checked this game out, played for about an hour, just really couldn't get into it. I really was not a big fan of the way that it controlled and all the quick time events and everything. I didn't think that the writing and the dialogue was all that great. I remembered playing it for an hour, really not liking it at all, and then kind of dropping it. If Heavy Rain is a game that I should sit through and play, give it a second chance, I will definitely do it. I feel like a lot of people talk very highly about it and how it's super underrated. If it's something that you guys think that I should check out, I definitely will. I will definitely go back. I'm willing to go back. It's just after playing it for that, little bit, obviously maybe should have given it some more time to kind of sit in and give it more of a chance. But from what I played, wasn't really feeling it. but let me know if I should go back to Heavy Rain. Mass Effect started off the trilogy. I think there's a lot of things that this game still holds up really well with the original. There's a couple other things that maybe not so much, like the Mako sections, the driving vehicle sections, but it was a great start to the trilogy. It's got a really good story. All the characters that you come to know and love in 2 and 3 start off here. Commander Shepard, the entire universe starts here. I still think it holds up very well, even on its own. I haven't played the original game in a hot minute. It's been years, and then with the Legendary Edition, they definitely made some improvements on the first game to where that's probably the way to go about playing it if you haven't. But Mass Effect moves on here. Haven't played through Heavy Rain, but Mass Effect, great game. Super Mario Galaxy, Assassin's Creed. Like I've said already, Nintendo Blind Spot, have not played any of the Mario games. I've heard a lot of good things about Mario Galaxy being one of the best 3D platformers in the series. Galaxy 2's in there as well, Odyssey, Mario 64. So this is definitely one that is on the list in terms of the Nintendo backlog to get to and check out. A lot of good things have been said about that. Assassin's Creed 1, I actually have not played. This is one where I started with the Ezio trilogy and then played 3 right after that. I've only played 4 games. Have not played the original. Definitely want to go back and check it out. I've heard a lot of good things. Altair being the main protagonist, I've heard he's really good. I've heard there's some things that don't age super well with it, but it definitely is a good, starting point to the franchise is what I've heard. So with not having played either of these games, I'm going to go Assassin's Creed here because I have experience with the franchise. I know what it can be. I'm sure Mario Galaxy is great, and I could definitely see if it's as good as it sounds like it is, maybe it would be better than Assassin's Creed 1. But it's because I've played through Assassin's Creed games before, I know what they can be, I have that experience with it, I'm going to go Assassin's Creed. Fallout New Vegas and Dishonored. Fallout New Vegas for me, never finished it, but I feel like I was pretty close to finishing it. It could definitely be up there with one of my favorite games of all time if the gameplay itself was better. I'm not really a big fan of the gameplay in Fallout New Vegas. I don't know, whenever I was playing through it, I always thought that it just didn't feel great to play. I know it's an older game, that has that Bethesda jank. Everything else around the gameplay, the combat, really that's what I mean with the gameplay, the combat. Everything else around it, the world, the setting, the different locations, the characters, the Fallout RPG-ness of it all, the choices and the skill checks, the soundtrack is all fantastic. It all was just so good when I played through it. It's just that gameplay, that combat really kind of took me away from it. And if this game got any kind of a remaster, like I hope that we're going to get, I'm all in. I'm all in. That's the only thing that I just wasn't a huge fan of. I did play on 360. Maybe if I played on PC and debug it and get it to work, maybe it'll feel a whole lot better. This game, pretty much my favorite game, not one of my favorite games of all time, if you take the combat out. There's so many good things about it, but with that combat being in there, kind of holds it back for me. Dishonored, I've played very little bit of. I know a lot of people love it, but I have not finished it. Really haven't checked it out. It's a big one on the backlog. I know a lot of people love Dishonored. It's one of the best stealth games of all time. Arcane at their best. I really don't know a whole lot about Dishonored with like story. I remember I played through maybe the prologue, maybe the first mission, but past that, it was really just, I don't really remember a whole lot of it. I only played like an hour or two of it. So definitely want to get back to Dishonored. So out of the two, I'm going to go New Vegas. I played a lot more of it. I really enjoyed what I played. Combat kind of holds it back. But I know if I played through Dishonored, maybe it would be over New Vegas. It is, from what I've heard, that good. But I'm going to go New Vegas for this one. Very interesting matchup. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 versus Minecraft. Modern Warfare 3 has a great campaign, finishes off the trilogy in a great way. All the characters that you've come to know and love from COD 4, Modern Warfare 2, Soap, Captain Price, all the great characters. Makarov is a great villain. It's a great campaign, memorable moments. Multiplayer is, I feel like, a very underrated one. Not one that I played a lot of in its prime, or even really went back to and played a lot of, but a lot of people talk very highly of it. When I have played, it's a lot of fun. But then Spec Ops, returning from Modern Warfare 2, now you have survival being introduced, and that is a big game changer. Not quite on the level of zombies, but it does hold a lot of weight when it comes to Modern Warfare 3. But then we switch over to Minecraft, and I mean, nostalgia might be talking. I played a lot of Minecraft as a kid. I still play Minecraft to this day. It still holds up so well. A survival world, there's really nothing better than doing that, even if you've done it so many times, just because there's so many different things that can happen in a playthrough. You can do things differently. And then you have creative, where you can just go wild, and there's all the different, on PC you have the servers, and I think even on console, there's so much to Minecraft. It's still growing to this day, and it still holds up. I mean, it's one of the best games of all time. You could say, oh, it's Minecraft, it's a kid's game. It's a really good kid's game. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, it still holds up. It's still so much fun to play. I'm going to go Minecraft over Modern Warfare 3. It might be a hot take, but I feel like Minecraft might be a sneaky one that goes decently far in this bracket. Oblivion versus Arkham Asylum. Have not played Oblivion. Haven't even played the remaster that came out. Elder Scrolls is a big blind spot. Haven't played Morrowind or Oblivion or Skyrim. I've heard a lot of great things about it. Maybe it hasn't aged the best. Maybe there's a lot of jank that comes with the original. Even still in the remaster, I've heard that jank kind of carries over, and it's what gives the game a lot of character. I do know that for sure. Definitely one that I want to check out. I don't know if I would check out the original or the remaster. Let me know if I do go play Oblivion, if that's something you guys want to see. Is the remaster the way to go, or do I go through and play the original and just do it that way? I would be down to do it either way to make a video on it. Arkham Asylum, it's a great game, great start to the trilogy. I've already said Arkham Asylum, I think, is just a better game. It just improves on what Asylum did in a lot of ways, but Arkham Asylum is still a great game in its own right. That story, playing as Batman, that free flow combat is a lot of fun. Definitely a great game, still holds up visually. Going to go Arkham Asylum here just because I haven't played Oblivion. This would be, I feel like, a tough matchup if I had played Oblivion, but Arkham Asylum because I haven't played Oblivion. Wii Sports, Dark Souls. Wii Sports, a classic. Really the only Nintendo experience I have as a kid, or just in general, the only Nintendo experience that I have. I have my Wii hooked up right over there. Wii Sports is still something I throw on from time to time just to have fun in baseball, in bowling, in boxing, and even tennis and golf are still fun. It's a lot. It's just holds up. It's a classic. It really is. Dark Souls, a big blind spot. Now you might be like, oh, you have to go play these games. They're so good. With Dark Souls and the Souls games, FromSoft games, what I'm worried about is buying these games and then going through, playing a couple hours, getting stuck on a boss, and then not wanting to come back. I feel like playing these games, I feel like might change me as a gamer, because you have to have so much patience to get through these games. So it's something that, if there's high enough demand for it, maybe go through and play Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, Sekiro. All those games have a complete blind spot when it comes to Dark Souls and the Souls franchise. So for this one, out of context, it might seem crazy. I'm picking Wii Sports, but just remember, I haven't played Dark Souls. I have played Wii Sports. That's the only reason why Wii Sports is moving on. I'm sure if I played Dark Souls and it's as good as a lot of people say it is, I'd pick it over Wii Sports. But Wii Sports moves on because I haven't played Dark Souls. Street Fighter 4 versus Halo Reach. Kind of mentioned earlier, I'm not a big fighting game guy. I do enjoy them. I still will play them if I can. So I've never played Street Fighter 4. I've never actually played a Street Fighter game before at all. I have not played the OGs, the more modern ones. 6 is the most recent one that's come out. So I have a complete blind spot to Street Fighter. The most experience I have with a fighting game franchise is Mortal Kombat. I have played through a couple of those games with the story modes. But Street Fighter, blind spot. Halo Reach, is a great Halo game. Fantastic campaign. A lot of memorable missions. Again, a story, even though it does serve as a prequel to the Halo trilogy, it does kind of stand on its own. It doesn't do everything entirely different like ODST does with its story, but it has completely new characters, some returning ones, but the main cast of characters is completely new, and you have a lot of fun with that story. And the multiplayer, I still think is a great multiplayer. Not my favorite in the franchise, but a lot of fun to be had in that multiplayer. In that firefight, probably the best firefight that we've seen. Still holds up. You can still have a lot of fun with that, and a lot of fun with the Halo gameplay in a PvE mode that's not campaign. Multiplayer is great. So I'm going to have Halo Reach move on here. Nothing against Street Fighter, just haven't played it. Halo Reach is moving on. Bad Company 2 versus Crackdown 2. Bad Company 2, I think, is where I got my start with Battlefield. It was either that or Battlefield 3. But I remember playing so much of the Bad Company 2 multiplayer. I mean, it's so good. I remember it being so much fun. The destruction being just on another level in this game with the Frostbite engine. The things they were able to do with that just changed the game. Gameplay was a lot of fun. Progressing, the maps, Rush was so much fun in this game. All the different weapons, the classes, playing as a squad. And then the campaign, from what I remember, I don't know if I actually ever finished the campaign. So I guess technically if there was some way to get my hands on Bad Company 2 and its multiplayer, or its campaign, I know it's delisted, if there was some way to play it, I guess technically that would be a first time finishing video. I'm not sure if I could do that. But I guess technically I haven't finished Bad Company 2. But I did play a lot of multiplayer. Crackdown 2, never played. The most actually I've played of Crackdown is Crackdown 3. That might sound crazy. I've actually never played Crackdown 1 and 2. I never finished Crackdown 3. I know it's definitely the least popular game out of the trilogy. But I've heard solid to good things about Crackdown and Crackdown 2. So if that's something you want to see on the channel, can definitely make that happen. We'll go through that and play that in co-op. Battlefield Bad Company 2 is going to move on. So how many more matchups do we have? Oh, we still have a lot of matchups. Okay. Let's just keep going. Don't even think about that. WWE SmackDown versus Raw 2007 versus The Walking Dead. Not a big WWE guy. I think I played a WWE game as a kid, and maybe it was this one. I don't remember. But just not my thing. Not really into the wrestling. So I really don't have a lot to say about that. Not my thing. The Walking Dead, on the other hand, a fantastic video game. What a story. A fantastic story. Episodic, episodes can go from, an hour and a half. I feel like they're mostly on average an hour and a half to 2 hours. You got 5 episodes. You got that bonus episode as well. Just the setting of the zombie apocalypse and the way that they were able to transform that. As someone who's not really watched the show a whole lot because I've had a lot of it spoiled, never watched through it the whole way through just because of that. The game, Season 1, Season 2, I mean, they are so good. They're Telltale at their best. Don't know if we'll ever see Telltale again, but it's going to be hard for them to return to this and be this good. The story's fantastic. Great characters. A great story all the way through. Choices, really tough choices you have to make throughout this playthrough. It's great. Walking Dead moves on. Mortal Kombat 9, Stanley Parable. I played a little bit of Mortal Kombat 9 on the PS3, not a whole lot, but I did play a little bit. I know this is one of the more popular ones. I do remember really enjoying what I played of it. Don't really have a whole lot to say on it besides that. The only one I think I finished the stories of is 10 and 11. So anything past, besides that, I don't really know or have a lot of knowledge of, but I have played this before. Stanley Parable, I've heard a lot of good things about. I don't really know what it is, but I know it's a very unique game and something that, I would definitely be down to try out. I've heard good things about it. It's a first person, or it's a story-based video game. That's just all that it says that it is. It's probably one of those really trippy, apparently there's choices in it. I don't know a whole lot about it. So Stanley Parable is a blind spot for me for sure. that's something you want to see, you can definitely make it happen. Out of these two, I haven't finished either, but I've played a little bit of Mortal Kombat. I'm going to go Mortal Kombat on this one. Skyrim versus Call of Duty 2. I did not think Call of Duty 2 was an Xbox 360 or PS3 game. I'm going to double check that. Maybe it was? I actually don't know the answer to that. It was a 360 game. Very interesting. Huh, okay. Never played Call of Duty 2 before. I know I kind of jumped into COD 2 before Skyrim. Haven't played COD 2 before. Really the original 3. I think I played the most of COD 1. I do remember very, very slightly playing that game. Very faintly. Call of Duty 2 and 3 I know I haven't played. I think that I've heard out of the 3 games, I want to say that Call of Duty 2 is definitely the most popular. I could be wrong about that. Not really one that I have any interest in going back to, especially with all these other games we talked about that I do want to get to. Maybe someday I'll get to Call of Duty 2, but I don't know for sure. But I do want to get to Skyrim. I feel like if I had to pick between this and Oblivion, I think this is the way to go. So many people say so many good things about Skyrim. It's been re-released on so many platforms and with so many different editions. People are still playing this game so much to this day. You have all the mods. A game that I've barely played. I've played maybe an hour or two total. Most. I've barely played this game. I pretty much know nothing about it. So I'd go in completely blind. I would definitely be down to, I know it's a super, super long game, but get immersed in the world of Skyrim. Check it out. Who knows when we're going to see Elder Scrolls 6? So I think I still do have some time to get to Skyrim and Oblivion before that comes out. But out of these two, haven't played them. Which one I think would go, or I would like more? I'm going to go Skyrim. Lollipop Chainsaw Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I don't really know a lot about Lollipop Chainsaw. I've heard of it before. I'm going to look it up just to kind of see what it is. Let's take a look. It is a 2012 game, action-adventure game. Interesting. I don't really know a whole lot about it. Not really sure what to think about this game. I don't know. I don't really have a lot to say about it. Let me know down in the comments. Is this game worth checking out? Is it worth being on this list of 128 games? Smash is, again, not being a Nintendo person, not having that knowledge or that background, is something that I think I've barely played before, if at all. I don't really know if I'd be into the kind of gameplay formula that Smash offers. It's not even really something I am interested in trying out, but I would be down to give it a shot. But definitely out of all the Nintendo games and the series that they offer, not one on the top of the list. But for this, I am going to play, or I'll go ahead and pick Smash Bros. Brawl. Demon's Souls and Assassin's Creed 4. Haven't played Demon's Souls. Again, Souls not being a franchise that I've jumped into. I would definitely... I know this one is before Dark Souls, but Dark Souls kind of was the game that brought the franchise to the forefront, but a lot of people still do enjoy Demon's Souls. Maybe if I go through and play these games, I'll get to it. Black Flag I have played a good bit of, but I haven't finished with the most recent Black Flag Resynced. I think that's where I'm going to jump in maybe and give it a shot. I don't know for sure though, because I do own Black Flag originally, and I know that game still does hold up. I don't know if it necessarily needed a remake. Obviously, the game does look a lot better with the remake that's coming out. So I'm not sure how I'm going to approach Black Flag, but I do want to get to this and have that be next up. So out of these two, which one would I think I would enjoy more? I'm going to go Black Flag. Mass Effect 2, Fable 2. I love Mass Effect 2. One of my favorite games of all time. That trilogy is so good. I've already talked about the other two games. Now I finally get to talk about Mass Effect 2. It's so good. My favorite in the trilogy. It introduces so many great new characters while bringing back so many old characters from the first game. And just, honestly, as a self-contained story, I feel like it's just really good, even without the other two games. I feel like this is where the gameplay I don't know. I remember Mass Effect 3's gameplay being really good too, so maybe 3 over 2 with the gameplay, but it's very close. But just, I think this game knocks it out of the park with all the great story moments and character moments. You have all the different side quests you can go and do for all these great characters. Mass Effect 2 is just a fantastic video game. Fable 2, I have not gotten into Fable. I've played the most out of Fable 1, but not a lot of Fable 1. With Fable, the reboot coming out supposedly, hopefully later this year, I'm not sure if I'm going to get around to checking out these games, but if that's something you guys want to see, let me know. I'll do the Fable trilogy before the new reboot comes out, but I might just check out the reboot without checking out these games. But I've heard out of the 3, Fable 2 is probably the one that's the most popular. We'll see. Maybe I'll check them out, but Mass Effect 2 will move on here. See how many more matchups we have left. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9 matchups, so you can fly through these. GTA 4, GoldenEye 007. I don't know if that's the original one, like from old school Nintendo, that kind of thing. I don't know for sure. GTA 4, I played a good bit of, but I haven't finished. It's on the backlog of GTA games. To get to before 6 comes out, I've heard so many good things about it. That gritty setting of Liberty City, coming back to that. The story being a lot more grounded. Nico's a great main character. All these great side characters and all the things you can do in this world that you would expect to be able to do in a GTA game. And then GoldenEye. If this is, I don't know which one this is for sure. I've played a little bit of GoldenEye, the original. I think when like the re-release came out on modern consoles, I think I checked it out for a little bit. And it's fun. It is, for what it is, old school first-person shooter, one of the first games in that genre. But it's going to be GTA 4. I haven't finished either, but GTA 4 for sure out of the 2. Killzone 2, Guitar Hero 3. Killzone, another big PlayStation franchise I haven't gotten to. It's a lot like Resistance, where, first-person shooter. There's a trilogy of games. I don't know which ones out of the 2 are the most popular. Definitely do want to check out Killzone though. I don't know a whole lot about it. And then Guitar Hero 3, I was more of a Rock Band kid, so I actually never played Guitar Hero. So obviously very, very difficult to get your hands on Guitar Hero. Don't expect to get around to this game at all. I do want to play Killzone 2. I do want to play that trilogy for sure at some point, so Killzone 2 will move on. Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess Far Cry 3. Again, Nintendo backlog, huge. I have no knowledge of any Nintendo games. So, Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, all these Legend of Zelda games, I have no idea. I don't know anything about them. I do want to check them out at some point. We'll see when that'll happen on the channel, but I got a bunch of Zeldas to get through. Far Cry 3, though, best Far Cry game in the franchise. Really put them on the map. That Ubisoft formula that we all know and maybe not love at this point, but it was very good for the time that it came out. It still does hold up very well. Voss is probably the best villain of all time. He's still such a good villain. Story is pretty good. Gameplay still holds up. It's a lot of fun. Capturing outposts, capturing the towers. A lot of fun. Far Cry 3 moves on here because I have finished it. Haven't gotten to Zelda yet. Bully versus PlanetSide 2. Bully, another Rockstar game I've played a good bit of. Haven't finished it. Definitely want to get back to it though. It was a lot of fun when I did play. Basically just like teenage GTA. GTA set in a school. You can still do pretty much whatever you want. Explore an open world. Although just a little bit smaller than a GTA game. But you can still have a lot of fun in Bully. Go to class. Bully other kids or help other kids from being bullied. There's a lot of fun to be had in Bully. I definitely want to get back to it. Never finished it, but I did play a good bit of it. PlanetSide 2, another gap in my ball knowledge. I don't know what PlanetSide 2 is. I'm going to look it up very quick so I don't look stupid. MMO FPS came out in 2012. Never heard of it. Interesting. I don't know if this game is even still a thing now. Might have to go check that out. I don't know. First person MMO sounds kind of cool. But Bully, we'll move on here. don't really know anything about PlanetSide 2. Bully will move on. Hitman Absolution, Fear 2. The only Hitman experience I have is with the Modern Trilogy. All the other games before that I don't know anything about. I have not played them. I would like to go back and check out, the more modern Hitman games. I know Blood Money is one of them, and then Absolution. Maybe check those out on the channel. I do have those in my Steam library, so maybe, I could very easily go back and play Absolution. Fear 2. Talked about Fear 1 earlier. Didn't really know a whole lot about it. Sounds pretty cool. Apparently there's a trilogy of games. So if this is a trilogy of games that I should play at some point, let me know down in the comments. Out of the two, because I have the experience with the Hitman franchise, I'm going to go Hitman Absolution. Battlefield 3, Civilization 5. I love Battlefield 3. It's probably, I don't know if it's my favorite. I don't know if we're going to see Battlefield 4 on here, but Battlefield 4 is probably my favorite, but I love Battlefield 3. Campaign's okay to solid, but the multiplayer is really where it's at. Fantastic multiplayer, great game modes, Conquest, Rush, all being thrown in there. Great maps, progression felt so good, all the different classes, squatting up. It's Bad Company 2 on another level. They really killed it with Battlefield 3. Civ 5, not my thing. Not a strategy person at all. So, this one's pretty easy. No disrespect to Civ, just not my thing. I'm going to go Battlefield 3. Alan Wake versus Devil May Cry 4. Alan Wake is a good to great game. I do remember playing this and enjoying it. Alan Wake 2 I did really enjoy a lot more, but Alan Wake 2 Alan Wake 1, a good starting point, something that they could definitely build on, and they did with Alan Wake 2. Really enjoyed the way the story was told. It was episodic. The gameplay kind of got a little tedious by the end of it, but it was still a lot of fun. I think the story is just really what carries this game, and the setting and the way that the story was being told in Alan Wake. Devil May Cry, another big franchise that I have not checked out. Big gap in my knowledge. I know about it. Obviously, it's a huge franchise from Capcom, but I've never played a Devil May Cry game. So if that's something you want to see, again, let me know, because I would definitely get around to it. I definitely think I would enjoy Devil May Cry. But with this one, I've played Alan Wake. I will move on. Singularity versus Dead Rising. I don't know what Singularity is. I'm going to look it up very, very quick just to see. Don't think I've even ever heard of Singularity. It is 2010 first-person shooter by Raven Software. Interesting. I've never heard of this game. Cool. Sounds pretty cool. Survival horror. Who knows? Maybe it's pretty cool. Dead Rising. The original I haven't played a lot of. I don't think it holds up as well from what I remember playing as like a Dead Rising 2 does. But it's still a lot of that sandbox fun. Go pick up whatever you want in the world. Run around a mall and kill zombies. I think out of these two, I've had experience with Dead Rising before. I'll have Dead Rising move on. And then our final matchup before we move into the next round of matchups. Super Mario Galaxy 2, Black Ops 2. Nintendo, Blind Spot. Don't know anything about Mario. I haven't played him, so I know it sucks that I don't have a lot to talk about when it comes to the Mario games. Do apologize. Hopefully we'll fix that soon on the channel if you guys want to see that. So I don't really have a lot to say about Mario Galaxy 2. Black Ops 2 is my favorite COD of all time. It's got a great campaign with great choices in the campaign. A great multiplayer, my favorite multiplayer in the franchise. So many good maps and modes. So many memories playing that multiplayer. Zombies. You got Mob of the Dead, you have Origins, Buried. You have some stinkers in there with Transit and Die Rise. But overall, I think it's the total package. That was my phone, sorry about that. Of a Call of Duty game, and it's going to move on over Mario Galaxy 2. We are back to finish off the second side of the bracket, then meet in the middle and do our championship matchup. Went through and did 32 different matchups, if my math is right, on this side. So now I have the rest to go. Continue on with COD 4 versus Mirror's Edge. This one for me, haven't played Mirror's Edge, have barely played it. COD 4, I've played a lot of COD 4, especially with that campaign. COD 4 will move on here. Mafia 2 versus Gears of War, two games that I have played. I do think that Mafia, just as a franchise, is actually decently underrated. I think they do have really good stories. There's just not a lot to do in the open world, but you kind of come for the linear story. And Mafia 2 does have a good story, but I'm going to go Gears of War. I like that franchise more as a whole. Even if the first game isn't my favorite out of the original trilogy, even for that campaign, I'd still prefer to go back and play Gears of War, and you have multiplayer there as well, even though it's not something I really dabbled with the original Gears. But I'm going to go Gears of War over Mafia 2. Fallout 3 versus Spec Ops The Line. Out of context, this might be a crazy pick, but I will go Spec Ops The Line, because even though I have played just a little bit of Fallout 3, I have not finished it, have not seen it all the way through. I have finished Spec Ops The Line, like I said earlier. Very underrated game. If you haven't checked it out, or don't even know what it is, definitely look into it. Give it a shot. Super underrated game. So because I have finished Spec Ops and I have not finished Fallout 3, Spec Ops The Line, we'll move on. Ooh, The Last of Us and Borderlands 2. This is a good matchup. Last of Us, like I said earlier, one of my favorite games of all time. It is such a great story. It's a fantastic story. The world and the setting, the characters, the gameplay, all of it just combines into an experience that I really don't think I'll ever forget. It was such a great experience. Borderlands 2, though, it is a fantastic co-op game. Looter shooter, there's so much to do in this game. I mean, there's so much content. Even if you were to run it all the way through and do it 100%, you go back around and do it a second time, you're probably going to see some things different than you did in your first playthrough. There's a lot to this game. It definitely does improve on what I have played on from Borderlands 1 in a lot of ways. Borderlands 2 is a really good game, but Last of Us, we'll move on here. It really is just that good. It is a great game. It's a fantastic game. Oh, BioShock versus Mass Effect. Now, if this was Mass Effect 2, this would be a really, really hard matchup. And it still is tough. But Mass Effect 1, it's still really good. It just, in some ways, hasn't aged the best. BioShock is timeless, I think. I think that this game still holds up in a lot of ways. And Mass Effect still does hold up in a lot of ways as well, with its story, with its characters, and the world. But BioShock, it just does everything right. It is such a good game. BioShock will move on. Assassin's Creed Fallout New Vegas. So I haven't played the original Assassin's Creed, have not played it at all. I've played a good bit of New Vegas, but never rolled credits. So these are two games I have not finished. And I do want to get to Assassin's Creed. I still want to get into, I've played the Ezio trilogy, I've played 3, but I want to go back and play 1 and then go through and play Black Flag, play, Unity, Syndicate, Rogue, all the ones. I just want to experience all the franchise, even maybe the newer games, the newer, bigger RPG Assassin's Creeds. That's going to be way further down the line. But from what I have played, I really did like Fallout New Vegas a lot. It is a fantastic game, except for that combat, just not a big fan of it. Just anytime I get into combat, I'm not really having the best time, but everything else around that is so good. Fallout New Vegas, we'll move on here. Minecraft versus Batman Arkham Asylum. I think I said it earlier when Minecraft was on the screen. It went up against Modern Warfare 3. And I think Minecraft might make a sneaky run. And it sounds crazy. I know it's a kid's game. It is such a good kid's game. Maybe you don't even consider it one. I don't know. I think it's a survival crafting game. There's a bunch of those out there. It really does still hold up. You can still go back to it and still just have such a great time. And Arkham Asylum is a good game. It's a great game. That whole trilogy, there's no bad games in that trilogy with Arkham Asylum, City, and Knight. But it's not Arkham City. Arkham City is my favorite in the trilogy. And this is still a tough matchup, but I will give it to Minecraft here. Might be crazy. That's just what I'm going to go with out of the two. Wii Sports and Halo Reach. Man, this is a sneaky tough matchup. Wii Sports, it's just classic. Got a lot of nostalgia for it. I mean, it's still so much fun to this day. But I think this is where the Wii Sports run will stop. Halo Reach, I mean, just as a package, you have that great campaign that you can play in co-op. The levels are so good and so replayable. The multiplayer is a lot of fun. And then you have Firefight. It might be the complete package of a Halo game. Still not my favorite Halo game, but like as a package, it's got the campaign, the multiplayer, the Firefight. I will go Halo Reach here to move on. Ooh. These are some tough matchups on this side. I feel like this side's pretty heavy when it comes to the heavy hitters, at least that I've played. Bad Company 2, The Walking Dead. Bad Company 2's campaign, didn't finish it. I know I did try it out and it was pretty solid, but that multiplayer is still a lot of fun. It really kind of, it's what started me off with the franchise, really got me into that multiplayer and what makes Battlefield so good as a multiplayer game. But that Walking Dead story, man, those 5 episodes with characters like Lee and Clementine, if you haven't played it, oh my gosh, you have to. It is such a good journey that you go on, set in a great setting. Even you don't have to watch the show at all to even have any enjoyment from this game. You can play this game in the whole season, or I guess series of games. I think there's 4 games, I want to say 5. I think there's actually 5. There's a spin-off game too that you can go through and do the whole story of. But even if you just do season 1, I definitely recommend doing season 2 as well. Season 1 by itself is fantastic. I'm gonna go Walking Dead here. So Mortal Kombat 9 versus Skyrim, 2 games that I have not finished. I've played very little of Mortal Kombat 9 and also Skyrim. I have at least played these games somewhat, but not enough to really remember anything about them. So this is strictly just going to be off which one do I think I would enjoy more going through, and for me that's going to be Skyrim. Smash Bros. Brawl versus Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Like I said earlier, out of all the Nintendo games, I know people really love Smash, and it's a great party game, it's a great fighting game. I'm already not like the biggest fighting game guy. If there's a story mode, I'll go through it, and if I'm with friends and they want to play it, sure, I'll give it a shot. But not something that's high up on the list in terms of I have to play it. It's not really my thing in the first place. And what I have played of Black Flag already, I have put a good amount of time into it but never finished it. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's probably the best pirate game out there, even though Sea of Thieves, very sneaky, underrated. That game is also a fantastic pirate game. But Black Flag is great. It's got great combat, the ship combat, the shanties, sailing on the seas. It's hard to get better than that. I'm going to go Black Flag. Oh, man. I feel like this would be such a tough matchup if I have played GTA 4 and have finished it. I have played GTA 4. I feel like I got a good bit of the way through it, maybe like halfway when I did my first playthrough of it, but just didn't get around to finishing it. That is the plan, to get the GTA games done before 6 comes out, so hopefully at some point this year GTA 4 will be done. So I have not finished it, but Mass Effect 2 just on its own right is one of my favorite games of all time, so this would be a really tough matchup if I had finished both games, but it's hard to beat Mass Effect 2. I know GTA 4 is really, really good, and I'm sure it would definitely give it a good fight, but Mass Effect 2 for me, best in the trilogy. I mean, it's so good. Mass Effect 2, we'll move on here. Killzone 2, Far Cry 3. So again, like I said earlier, Killzone I don't have any experience with. I've not gone through the franchise. It's a franchise I do want to go through for sure and check out. I feel like it's an underrated franchise that a lot of people do talk about. Guerrilla, before they tackled Horizon, they were doing first-person shooters. So at some point I will get to Killzone, but Far Cry 3, it's a great game. It is a great game. Started off the Ubisoft open world formula into kind of what we see today. Before it got drawn out and overused, this is where it started at. And Far Cry 3, great game. It'll move on. Bully versus Hitman Absolution, 2 games I have not finished. I have not played Hitman Absolution, but I have played a good chunk of Bully, but just never rolled credits on it. So this one, for me, it's going to be 2 games I haven't finished. So it's just going to be picking the game that I feel like I would enjoy going through the most, and that is going to be Bully. Battlefield 3 versus Alan Wake. This is an interesting matchup. I have played both games. Battlefield 3, this campaign it's solid to okay. You know, it gets the job done. There's some good moments in it, but the multiplayer is really where just Battlefield in general stands out. You're not really going to Battlefield for a great campaign. You're going for that unique approach to multiplayer. Big battles, conquest, vehicles all over the place, classes, and squadding up with a team and trying to get the job done. And Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, I don't think I saw it on the list. I don't remember if I saw it on this side of the bracket. I don't think I did. So Battlefield 3, that might be a next gen game. I'm not entirely sure, but Battlefield 3, it's a fantastic game. The multiplayer is so much fun. I got a lot of nostalgia for it. Battlefield 3 is going to move on. I didn't really talk about Alan Wake, but Alan Wake, it's a good game. I think 2 does improve on it in a lot of ways, but I think it still holds up. The gameplay does get tedious after a while, but Battlefield 3 just as an experience, the multiplayer is so much fun. So that's why I would go with Battlefield 3 there. Dead Rising versus Black Ops 2. Never finished Dead Rising, the first one. I thought it was solid when I played of it, but I think there were some things about it that kind of didn't hold up from what I remember playing. But I would be down to go back to it if that's something you guys want to see, because I did really like Dead Rising 2. I have played through Dead Rising 4 before also. I know it's not the one that's the most popular in the franchise. Probably actually the complete opposite. But I like Dead Rising. I do hope that it comes back. I know we had the remaster of the first game. I think it was 2024. So maybe they're thinking about bringing it back. I would like to see what it would look like in 2026 or just in the future. But I haven't finished it. Black Ops 2, one of my favorite games of all time. I think it is the complete package when it comes to a Call of Duty game. It's got a really good campaign that has replayability with the choices, and the levels are really memorable, and there's class customization, multiplayer. I mean, all those maps and modes, the progression. It just, man, there's a lot of nostalgia also with Black Ops 2, but it still holds up even if you go back to it and play it today. And zombies, even though it's not the most consistent zombies mode, I think Black Ops 3 has the best zombies mode in the franchise, but Black Ops 2 has maps like Mob of the Dead, Buried, Origins. It really started to hit its stride toward the end of the game. So there's some really great maps, top tier maps in that zombies mode, and you can still have a lot of fun with it. Even without DLC, you still have things like Town and the survival maps to go and play. So Black Ops 2 will move on for me. Back at the top of the bracket, now we have COD 4 versus Gears of War 2. I don't think they released in the same year, but very, very close to each other. Kind of pillars of these franchises. Gears obviously started the franchise. COD 4 really brought the franchise to the forefront. 2 great games. Just because of how much more experience I have with this multiplayer and how much nostalgia I have for the campaign, I'm going to go COD 4 over Gears of War. Both great games. I'm going to go COD 4. Spec Ops The Line and The Last of Us. This is where Spec Ops The Line, the run for it will end. Like I said, super underrated game. If you haven't played it or don't know anything about it, go check it out. It is a great game, but The Last of Us is just, it's on another level. It really just is that good. Very interested to see. I will get around to part 2, even if there's not any demand for it. It's just a game that I want to get to and see what all the hype is about, or what all the not hype is about. I know part 2 is very 50-50 in terms of how they handled the story, and I'm very curious to see how they did handle that story. But Last of Us for me is going to move on here. BioShock versus Fallout New Vegas. For me, it's going to be BioShock. Fallout New Vegas, I've already said. I mean, it's really, everything around that combat is so good. And I know I've been kind of talking bad about the combat. I don't know if maybe it's just a me thing. I feel like that's kind of the part of the game that I think would benefit the most from a remaster. Or maybe it was the fact that I played it on 360. Maybe playing it on PC would make it feel a lot better. Mods, all that fun stuff. So if I give it another shot, which I do plan to at some point, this could be different. But BioShock, like I've said multiple times, is one of my favorite games of all time. It's going to move on. Minecraft versus Halo Reach. Man, I know it might seem stupid that Minecraft is making it this far. Nostalgia does weigh heavily in that, but I'm still playing Minecraft to this day, going back to it and still having a lot of fun. And Halo Reach, like I said, it probably is the complete Halo package. Ooh, this is tough. This is tough. Man. I'm gonna go Halo Reach. I think this could go 50-50. I could pick Minecraft on another day. I think just having that PvP multiplayer experience, that option for you to go and play in Halo Reach, even though it's not my favorite multiplayer, that is holding a lot of weight with this, I feel like, because you have that campaign, the firefight, those are both PvE, super replayable game modes with the multiplayer being in there. This is 50-50, but Halo Reach I'm going to have move on. The Walking Dead versus Skyrim. I have not played Skyrim, I have not finished it. I've played it, I haven't finished it. I have not finished Skyrim. I have finished The Walking Dead. It has a fantastic story. It's a great journey of a game. Walking Dead will move on. Assassin's Creed 4 versus Mass Effect 2. Again, Black Flag. I've played a good bit of it. I never rolled credits on it. So because of that, Mass Effect 2 will move on. Even if I've finished Black Flag, Mass Effect 2 is really, really hard to beat. But because Black Flag has not been finished, Mass Effect 2 has. Mass Effect 2 will move on. Far Cry 3 versus Bully. Again, another one where I've finished Far Cry 3. I haven't finished Bully. I really enjoyed Bully, what I played of it, but just haven't rolled the credits on the game yet. So Far Cry 3 will move on. Oh man, this is a good one. Battlefield 3 versus Black Ops 2. This is, out of Battlefield and Call of Duty, these are the two games as a kid that I played the most, have the most nostalgia for. So it's really just picking which one do I like better, Battlefield or Call of Duty. And I think if this was Battlefield 4, I think I have more nostalgia for Battlefield 4. I feel like I played that more. If this was Battlefield 4, I might give the edge to that. But Black Ops 2, I think multiplayer to multiplayer, I could go either way, but the fact that you have zombies tacked on, has a lot of high moments, even though there's some low moments, and then you have the campaign as well, which is a whole lot better. As a complete package, I'm going to go Black Ops 2. Call of Duty 4 versus The Last of Us. Love both games, have a lot of nostalgia for Call of Duty 4, but The Last of Us, it moves on, it's on another level, it does everything right. Not saying that COD 4 doesn't, but for me, I'm going to go Last of Us. It's such a fantastic video game. BioShock versus Halo Reach. It's BioShock. BioShock is, I don't want to repeat myself because I want to explain why I'm picking one game over the other, but I also don't want to repeat myself, but I've already said it so many times. I mean, everything about BioShock, that story, that setting in the world, the unique gameplay, just the lore of BioShock, it really just does a fantastic job of immersing you in that world. And like I said, Halo Reach might be the perfect, complete Halo package of campaign, multiplayer, and firefight. But BioShock as an experience, I'd pick over Halo Reach. Walking Dead and Mass Effect 2. Two fantastic games. I think story, Walking Dead might edge out Mass Effect 2. I might say that. But then you have everything else that comes with Mass Effect 2, with the gameplay, the RPG-ness of it, doing all the side quests, exploring the universe. That is so much fun in this game. I think that Mass Effect 2 just has a lot more going for it. I'm going to pick Mass Effect 2. Far Cry 3 versus Black Ops 2. Again, don't want to repeat myself, but Far Cry 3 is a great open world game. It's got really solid gunplay. Voss is a great villain. It's got a good story. It feels great to go and take over the outpost and take over the cell towers and just drive around on this tropical island. But Black Ops 2, complete COD package. Great campaign, great multiplayer, great zombies. Black Ops 2 will move on. Think we're down to, I believe, 4 games left on this side. This is such a heavy hitter of a matchup. I cannot believe that this matchup happened. Last of Us versus BioShock. Man. See, Last of Us has more recency bias. I've played this game a lot more recently than I have BioShock. But BioShock still holds. I still remember things about BioShock. Even with the bad memory, I still remember things about BioShock. After, 6 years, I think it's been since I played the first game. This is so tough. I mean, this could go either way. This is the definition of a 50-50 matchup. You ask him tomorrow, I probably have a different answer than what I'm going to give you right now. I'm going to go with I know there's silence. I'm thinking. Very, very tough decision here. I'm going to go BioShock. Just off of instinct. I mean, it could go either way. It could go either way. Man, I want to pick Last of Us so bad, but BioShock, this is such a good matchup. I'm going to go BioShock. I'm just going to go BioShock. Both are fantastic games. I could go either way. BioShock. Mass Effect 2 versus Black Ops 2. That story in Mass Effect 2 is so good. All of those characters, doing the side quests for those great characters, using the Normandy to go explore the universe. I mean, this is Mass Effect, I think, at its best. From what I've played, BioWare at their best. And even though I have a lot of nostalgia for Black Ops 2, and it does have a great package of content, I'm going to pick Mass Effect 2. BioShock versus Mass Effect 2. I mean, this is another BioShock Last of Us situation where this could go either way. However you want. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is so tough. This is just... wow. This is not fair. I want both games. I want BioShock, Mass Effect 2, and Last of Us. Man. Oh, BioShock is so good. BioShock is so good. So is Mass Effect. I'm going to go BioShock. I know I'm not giving a lot of explanation just because I feel like I've already given that explanation with these matchups that these games have gone through already. I'm going to go BioShock. As another tough one, it just took down The Last of Us. I think it takes down Mass Effect 2. Ask me the same question tomorrow and I might go Mass Effect 2. I'm going to go BioShock. And the championship matchup, it's Halo 3 versus BioShock. If I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, this side of the bracket on the right side was stacked. I mean, I think I'd probably pick Last of Us and Mass Effect 2 over Halo 3. So those were two championship matchups. I love Halo 3, don't get me wrong. I really, really do, but BioShock, man, I think it is my favorite 7th gen game of all time. It is just that good. It is that good, and that is going to be the entire bracket. 128 games, I will say, unless you guys want to see another 128 game bracket, we're going to stick to 64 next time. If we do it again, we're definitely just going to stick to 64 games. 128. It's a lot of games. That was a lot of games. But I think, like I said at the start of the video, the podcast, I do want to do more of these. If you guys like to see them, I do just like sitting down and just having something in front of me and having a reason to talk about games. I think this is a great way for the future of the channel. If you don't know what I have and haven't played, now you do. You have a better idea of some of the games I have and haven't played. I have a big Nintendo blind spot. I think that's probably the number one takeaway. I did not play a lot of Nintendo as a kid, so like I said, there's already some ideas as to getting that problem fixed, starting on that journey. But then there's games and franchises like Metal Gear, Devil May Cry, still a couple of PlayStation franchises I haven't touched. So If there are games in this video that you saw that I have not played and you want to see them on the channel, definitely let me know down in the comments. That's a big reason for me doing this video, is to get that knowledge out there and hopefully get some feedback from you guys on which games you want to see. And I think this was a really fun concept. I've looked at this website more, and there's definitely some more brackets that I would be down to do. So if this is something you want to see, you know, an hour to 2 long podcast. I don't know off the top of my head how long this is going to be. I thought this is going to be over 2 hours long. But if you just want something to listen to, obviously there's a bracket on the screen, and there's a bunch of ads all over the screen. I do apologize for that. Bunch of ads. I've really not paid attention to that. But this is, I think, better experienced as just a podcast, something to listen to. And there's some more brackets I've seen that I would like to get knocked out, do that as a podcast, or just some other ideas. I think this is a really cool video idea if this is something you guys want to see. So thank you guys for watching. If you've watched from start to finish, I really do appreciate it. Definitely going to be over 2 hours long, talking about a lot of games here, but it was a lot of fun to do. So if you want to see more, let me know down in the comments. Any of these games you saw that I have not played and you want me to, let me know down in the comments. So that is going to do it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I'll talk to you later.